Biko Scal from Cantine Field for tonight's game between the Albany Dutchman and the Saugerties Sawyers. Saugerties coming off a exciting win last night.
Yeah, terrific win for Saugerties. Almost lost the game a few times to Glens Falls, and were able in the end to pull ahead on the Jack Gonzalez RBI single in the bottom of the 8th inning to stop a 4-game skid and kind of turn things around here as they come to play Albany tonight.
Yeah, last night they came in with a 4-game losing streak, and they jumped out to an early lead and, kind of battled through the middle innings. Glens Falls did a very good job to come back and tie the game and eventually took the lead, but also Tyler Kellner with a major 3-run double that kind of gave him the lead once again, but Jack Gonzalez, a good piece of hitting, won the ball game for him. So they hope tonight to keep up the momentum with starting pitcher Mark Meyer on the mound.
Yeah, it was a big win and a win that they needed, as Glens Falls, a team that's been struggling. They were 8-13 coming in. Stallions were able to pull away with it. They're now 11-9 and facing an Albany Dutchman team that's ranked 13th in the nation for summer league teams. The Dutchmen are 2.5 games ahead of the Stallions in the standings right now, as Albany comes in 12-7. As I mentioned, the Stallions 11-9.
Yeah, Albany has cooled off a little bit. It seems this past week they were like 10-2 at one point, so they've kind of come back down to earth, but still ahead of the Stallions in the standings, and two teams right now that are poised are right around the halfway point, so they're looking to make that turn through the month of July and push towards the playoffs.
Yeah, and it'll be Mark Meyer, as you said, on the mound for the Stallions, the big righty coming in. He's only thrown 9 2/3 innings so far this year, and he has given up 9 runs, 8 of those earned. That's a 7.44 ERA. He's walked 7 and struck out 6. He does not have a record. He's given up 4 extra base hits so far, so he's trying to pick up a big win here for the Stallions as they're trying to gain a game here on Albany. The closest rival to the Stallions in the East Division of the PGCBL, and it's always exciting games between these two clubs.
Yeah, last year there was a lot of close ball games between these two teams, and every time they seem to square up, you felt like there's going to be just a solid baseball game at the end of the night, and hopefully we have one tonight. See if the Stallions bats can keep going after they put up 8 runs last night and keep the momentum going. Hopefully get some innings out of Meyer so they don't have to rely too much on the bullpen, because who knows how much Kevin Napoleon can pitch tonight. I believe he's thrown the past couple nights. He threw 2 1/3 last night, and
right.
Matt Pichard came in last night, only threw an inning, but it was a very high-stress inning. He had second and third with runner on third with 1 out, so it's different to throw 1 inning and have it clean versus an inning and have 2 guys on, especially in a close game like it was last night.
Sam Russo also coming off the injury in his first night back, so we'll see what he can do. The catcher out of Butler has been phenomenal so far for the Stallions, then was sidelined for a couple weeks, and now he's back in action. It's a beautiful night here at Cantine Field, just around 79 degrees. It's blue skies.
It's actually looked like it's cleared up a little bit. When I got here around 5 o'clock-ish, it was starting to seem to be a little bit overcast and the wind picking up, and I was almost wondering how much of a game they're going to be able to get in tonight, but looks like it's clearing up a bit as Meyer misses high for a ball. Brent Knighting, the right fielder, to lead off for Albany. And pitch. There's a strike.
Knighting has been phenomenal this year for Albany so far. He's 10th in the league with a .352 average. He's been ripping the ball. Also 3rd in the league with 10 stolen bases and 5th in the league with 7 doubles, so he can hit for power as well.
As Meyer drops a nice breaking ball in there for a called strike. Yeah, the top 4 in the order for Albany does a lot of damage. All guys seemingly hitting over 300 with double-digit RBIs, as that one is slapped to Pedersen, who fields and throws on to Andrew Taft at first, and there's 1 away. So that'll bring up the second baseman, Nick Gallo, who's been on an absolute tear of late. I remember looking a couple weeks ago, he was only batting about 180, but now he's hitting over 300 on the year.
Yeah, he comes in hitting .313. He was struggling early on, but as you said, he's been hitting the cover off the ball as of late.
And actually that 1 home run on the season came off Kevin Napoleon about a week ago in Albany.
Gallo, one of the rare guys who has graduated from college.
That one sliced foul, and he's behind the count 0-2.
Coming off his senior year at Oklahoma State. It's a baseball powerhouse. He's originally from West Palm Beach, Florida.
As that one swung on a miss, strike 3, so Meyer gets Gallo down swinging, and that'll bring up Brent Holland, the first baseman.
As Tom said, these first 4 hitters for the Dutchman have been terrific so far this year. Holland, no different. He comes in hitting .364. That's 5th in the PGCBL, only 1 spot behind the man in the on-deck box.
And that pitch is low. Holland also leads the team with 2 home runs, so yeah, definitely the part of the order for ball batting that does the damage is the top of the order. As Meyer deals, and that one's flown into right field. Settling under is Matt Feinstein, who will make the catch, and Mark Meyer starts off pretty strong there with a 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see out of the big Stallions, right? He didn't even have to get to Trace Tyre, who's the cleanup hitter, and as I had mentioned, the only guy hitting with a higher batting average than Holland himself. So great 1-2-3 inning there for Mark Meyer. Gives the Stallions a chance to jump out to an early lead, as Nick Teeter gives me some nods from the field. He asked me to shout him out. He doesn't know I already did.
Hey, if he's in the starting lineup like he is tonight, you get plenty of shout-outs, I guess, when we're talking about you. We'll run down the Stallions lineup pretty quickly. It'll be Nick Campana in center field leading off, followed by Luke Pedersen at short. Matt Feinstein's in right field, followed by Jack Gonzalez in left. Andrew Taft plays first base tonight for the 2nd straight night. Tyler Keller's at third. Nick Teeter's the designated hitter, followed by Pat LaGravenese at second base, and Sam Russo rounds it out catching. Only difference last night was Austin Powell's the catcher tonight, Sam Russo.
Yeah, the exact same lineup except for Russo's return to the batting order, which you love to see for the Stallions. Give Austin Powell, who's been playing tremendously in Russo's absence, but give him a night off after he's been grinding behind the plate.
And both catchers have been excellent defensively. Not too many mistakes for them. So, I mean, there's not really a drop-off. Sometimes you see a team have to sit the guy who's been their starting catcher, but with the Stallions, it seems to be 1A and 1B when it comes to Russo and Powell this season.
Yeah, and even when Powell's been beat up, you've seen Jeff Palczewski get behind the plate and field the position very well as well. Andrew Taft's been behind there for a few innings as well. So, I mean, the Stallions have luckily had a wealth of catchers this summer for them.
And catcher's at least the one position that's you can't really train in the matter of one practice session. At least a first baseman you could probably fake over there, and as long as he's played long enough, he probably at least knows kind of the footwork and can at least fake it for a couple innings. Catcher's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it's not one where you pull a guy who played catcher when he was 9 years old for his Little League team. It's a tough position to play, and it really wears you down. On the mound for Albany, it's Mike Papillo. Papillo's only thrown 6 in the third this inning, but he was phenomenal. He did not give up a hit nor an earned run. He has no walks and 9 strikeouts, so Papillo's been phenomenal this year. He does have 1 save. He does not have a record so far.
So it'll be the leadoff hitter, Campana, who was fantastic last night, reaching base 4 times on walks as he takes a called strike.
Papillo from Lake Como, New Jersey, and coming from East Stroudsburg University, going into his senior year.
Big, tall lefty at 6'7".
He's got a tall order with Campana, Pedersen, and Feinstein here in the first.
As Campana lines that one to second, Gallo fields and throws to first, and first baseman Brent Holland can't hang on to it. So Campana will reach. Let's see what scored.
Yeah, very tough play for Gallo at second. I actually thought it was going to be a base hit up the middle. It was a good job even getting there and snagging the one-hopper. It is ruled an error by the official scorekeeper here. So Papillo still hasn't given up a hit this year, but good piece of hitting by Campana to put that one right back up the middle and then leg it out.
And let's see if Campana's on the move here. He stole 2 bases last night and also got picked off because he was leaning too quickly. As that'll bring up Pedersen, who had a solid night last night as well. Didn't get the results, only had 2 hits, but hit the ball hard in 5 at-bats.
Yeah, one of those outs that he had was an absolute scorcher right to Mark Powell at second, the second baseman for Glens Falls. So just because he was 2 for 5 doesn't mean he was, he was ripping.
And there goes Campana, who's going to be out at second base. Looks like he left a little bit early, as he's actually picked off for the second time in 2 nights.
Yeah, that one makes more sense than the one where he was picked off when it was a righty. That one, Pepillo, it was a good move over to first. The lefty move's always tough to read if he's going home or going to first. Campana, an aggressive base runner, going on the second pitch to Pedersen, and Pepillo got him.
As now Pedersen, with nobody on, takes a strike. And the 1-1, and there's a strike. On deck, Matt Feinstein, who has also been tearing the cover off the ball. Both teams, the top of the order, is a lot of damage for them. And the 1-2 to Pedersen's outside.
Pedersen's been hitting the ball well. He comes in hitting .279. He's also been an everyday guy for the Stallions. Has the second most at-bats out of everyone on the team, only behind Campana and Gonzalez.
And the 2-2, just missing inside, and the count now full at 3-2 to Pedersen.
Yeah, real close one there. Good eye by Pedersen to lay off. That was a real borderline pitch.
That one didn't miss by much.
Yeah, looking at the replay, that could have gone either way.
So it'll be the 3-2 to Pedersen, as that one is grounded to short, bobbled there by the shortstop Skidmore, and there's no throw. That ball was hit so hard he just couldn't field it cleanly.
Yeah, that one was absolutely stroked by Pedersen. Another rip for Stallions hitters, and both middle infielders for the Dutchman now with an error only after 2 batters, but neither of them easy plays to make.
Yeah, that one was hit right at Skidmore, though. He should have came up with that one, but nonetheless, that'll put a runner back on first with 1 out. And I'll bring up Matt Feinstein, who's been phenomenal this year for the Stallions.
Pedersen, with great speed, doesn't quite run like Campana does. He's only 2 for 3 on the year in stolen base attempts.
There's a strike.
Feinstein comes in hitting .339. He's having a tremendous year with the Stallions. His .339 average, good for 13th in the league. He's also tied for second with Nick Campana in the league with 20 runs scored.
He's also shown a fantastic eye this year, drawing 19 walks.
Yeah, that's also tied for second in the league.
Top of the Stallions order does whatever they can to get on base, and they do it very well, as that one's fouled off, and the count now 1-2.
Stallions, not a whole lot of stolen bases this year. They're actually tied for last in the league with 17. And just last night they were last in the league with 13 before they stole 4 bases in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, the first 3 hitters of the night, Campana, Pedersen, and Feinstein each throw a base, as that one is going to be stolen base for Pedersen. He was caught leading.
Yeah, Pepio's only thrown over to first twice, and he's gotten both Campana and Pedersen now, but Pedersen luckily will actually come up with a stolen base on that one. The throw from Brant Holland over at first was wide, and John Skidmore could only do his best to keep that ball in the infield.
As that'll give Feinstein a chance to drive in a run here. And the 1-2 is he goes around, as that one actually goes back behind the screen. So despite Matt Feinstein striking out, he reaches first base as Luke Pedersen's able to go to third on the wild pitch.
Yeah, this is really one of the weirdest first innings I've ever seen. The first 2 batters reach on errors from the infielders, and then Matt Feinstein reaches on a strikeout that ends up in the VIP section. So even though it's 2 errors and a strikeout, the Stallions have first and third with 1 away.
Yeah, could be in for another weird night. There was a couple of plays last night that were a little unorthodox, I guess is the best way to put it. But that'll give last night's hero, Jack Gonzalez, with the RBI, game-winning RBI base hit in the 8th inning. And there's a strike.
Yeah, that RBI, his 16th of the year, ties him for 8th place in the league. He's also the leader by far for the Stallions. Next closest to him is Tyler Kelder, who quickly has 12.
As that one's lofted into shallow left, and that one's going to drop in front of the left fielder Herrera for a base hit. And an RBI as Jack Gonzalez keeps hitting. The Stallions take a 1-0 lead.
And I tell you what, the Stallions are hitting, but you got to feel for Mike Pepio on this one. That one also, that was just a lazy fly ball that was able to fall into left. That's his first hit and his first run of the year. Still hasn't given up an earned run as Pedersen reached on the E6, but Pepio's doing all he can to get the outs. So far, his fielders have not been able to pick him up.
Yeah, that's tough, and as a pitcher, you got to stay in there and just keep doing what you can do. As now that'll bring up Andrew Taft, another dangerous hitter for the Stallions. And there's a strike.
Yeah, Taft comes in hitting .348, second on the Stallions, but he does not qualify for league statistics because he doesn't have 2.7 at-bats per game, surprisingly.
As he misses. I believe Taft was out for about a week and a half with a hand injury. Missed a few games. But seems to have come back pretty strong. One of these Stallions, we're still waiting for someone to hit one out here at Cantine Field. A lot of power bats, and a couple of guys have come very close. Just still waiting for them to finally do it at home.
Yeah, LaGravenese debatably did do it himself just past Thursday, but it was ruled a triple.
And 2-1. That one's smacked to the second baseman Gallatis, short for one. On to first, a double play. So 4-6-3 double play kind of redeems the middle infielders for the Dutchman, but Stallions do grab a run on the RBI single by Jack Gonzalez.
Yeah, weird inning, 2 errors, a strikeout where Feinstein reached first base, and then the bloop single by Gonzalez. And they've got a 1-run lead for Mark Meyer, who looked great in the 3 batters he faced to start off the game, so we'll see if he can build on that. As we head into the top of the second inning, we'll show you our giveaway for the night. As we've been giving away merchandise every night on our broadcast, a random commenter will win it tonight. It's the Stallion shorts.
Who doesn't want a pair of basketball shorts?
You can wear these anywhere. You can wear them to formal events. You can wear them to the gym. There's really...
Or you can wear them to the gym and lay on your couch all day.
You can do whatever you want to do. But these shorts are really cool, and they're another new item in the Stallions Pro Shop, so one lucky commenter will win them tonight.
Yeah, basically everything down there is brand new, and I'm sure if you can't get to a game, you can always contact either Kevin Hinchy or Scott Wickett, and I'm sure they'll be glad to mail you some items if you want to purchase them from the website.
Definitely, and while you're commenting on the video, please like and share as well. The buttons are just one click away, and it's really great for the organization and these broadcasts. We've been getting thousands of viewers, and the Facebook page has skyrocketed to close to 1 million views per week, which is just phenomenal. And thank you so much for viewing, and thank you for everyone who likes, shares, and comments.
And also, if you're interested in advertising, go to the team website, and there's a link there if you want to get in touch with the organization and be able to have your business heard by us. And there's a strike to Trace Tyre, the designated hitter. He'll be followed by Chase Allen, the third baseman, and Griffin Herrera, the left fielder. As that one's low. And then John Skidmore, the shortstop, Chris Villa, the catcher, and Zach Durfee, the center fielder, fill out the Albany lineup.
All familiar names for the Stallions, as they've played a lot of the Dutchmen so far this year.
As that one just misses 2-1.
Trace Tyre, another one of the great hitters for Albany. He's 5th in the PGCBL with his .365 batting average.
And that one misses. Meyer looks to be right there, though. As that one's grounded to second, McGraven-East will field and throw on to first, and there's quickly one away here in the second.
Yeah, Mark Meyer working well, not getting behind in counts. He's been going right after the Dutchman hitters, and the Stallions fielders backing him up so far.
And that'll bring up Chase Allen, the third baseman. Also tonight's K-Man.
Yeah, Allen comes in hitting .245. Does have 7 RBIs on the year.
As he swings and misses for a strike.
Allen, a big righty from Limestone University from Sharpsburg, Georgia.
Breaking ball low. Like I said, Allen is the K-Man. If you ever come to the games, one player on the opposing team is randomly selected, and if they strike out at any point before the 7th inning, it's 2-for-1 beers for the bottom half of the inning, and the count now 2-1. Usually a fan favorite at the ballpark. Last night they got 3.
Yeah, that was a career high for the Stallions since they instituted the K-Man last season. There had never been 3 K-Man strikeouts in one game.
And the 3-1 upstairs, ball 4. So Allen will be the first Dutchman player to reach.
That's exactly what you don't want to see from Mark Meyer. A 5-pitch walk there. He did great against the first 4 batters, just pitching to contact. But one thing he has struggled with so far this year is walks. That's his 8th walk compared to his 6 strikeouts.
The key here is Meyer, a very tall right-handed pitcher, to have good control. Throws hard as that one's fouled back.
Herrera only hitting .105 this year, but that's only in 19 plate appearances, so he can raise that with a few hits.
We're still at the point in the year that it's a couple of hot games and something you could be batting like 400.
Exactly, and Herrera comes out of Azusa Pacific where he played very well, so he could really turn it on at any point.
And count is 1-1. As that ball is lined down the third base line fair. Getting it out of the corner is going to be Gonzalez, as it's going to be a easy double for Griffin Herrera, and it'll be second and third with only 1 out.
Yeah, as we were saying, he's a terrific player, just hasn't found it yet, and that one was a beautiful hit. Stroked it right down the left field line, easy double for him. Now he has the Dutchman with second and third and 1 away, and in a great position to tie the game or even take the lead if they can bring Herrera in from second.
Yeah, that'll be up to John Skidmore, the shortstop.
Skidmore from Dallas, Texas, and coming from Dallas, Texas Baptist University.
Wasn't he on the team last year? I believe he was.
John is one of the returning players. So far, he's hitting .167 this year, but that's only because he's had 12 plate appearances, and he's 1 for 12.
As that one's low.
2 for 12, I'm sorry.
Catcher Chris Villa is on deck.
Stallions have the corners in, but middle infielders will trade an out for a run.
And that one just misses. 2-0. Meyer doesn't seem to be missing by much, though, on a couple of these pitches. And Meyer deals, swung on and missed for a strike, and they count 2-1.
This is a big batter for Mark Meyer, is if he's able to get Herrera or able to get Skidmore out, then a productive out will not score a run after this. Albany only has scored 102 runs on the year. That's third worst in the PGCBL. So you want to try and limit them because it's their pitching that's been so dominant. They've only given up 79 runs, which is the third best in the PGCBL.
Yeah, outside the top 4 hitters for Albany, they haven't really stepped up quite like the top of the order has. That one misses low 3-1.
Especially with a guy like Mike Pepio on the mound who gave up 1 unearned run in the first inning and before this game had thrown over 6 innings without even allowing a base runner. You really want to keep your lead as much as you can.
And the 3-1 is lofted into left field. Going back is Jack Gonzalez on the warning track, and it's off the wall. 1 run will score, and that's actually going to only move the runner Herrera up to third as he must have been tagged up. So it's an RBI double for John Skidmore, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, that one an absolute bomb from Skidmore. Tough play for Gonzalez out in left, who is not used to playing outfield that much. He's been playing first base most of the summer. And he was at the track and kind of collided with the wall as the ball went off the Ulster Federal Credit Union sign out there.
Yeah, Gonzalez actually on his college team Stetson's website is listed as a third baseman and an outfielder. Was played mostly first base for the Stallions. So it'll be Chris Villa now with second and third and 1 out as that one's popped first base side. Taft giving it a look will make the catch, and there'll be no tag. So now there's 2 away.
And that's the huge out that Mark Meyer needed there. Now he only needs to get the 9-hitter, Zach Durfee, to get out of the inning, only giving up 1 run. One thing on that double off the left field wall, Jack Gonzalez did a great job of getting that ball in immediately. Got it right into Tyler Kelder over at third, and Herrera really had no chance of going home.
Yeah, not really sure what Herrera was doing. He must have been waiting to tag up and thought Gonzalez would have caught it or would have gone out for a home run. Because, ball hit to the wall, he should be able to easily score from second base, and wonder if that'll come back to cost the Dutchman in the end.
Yeah, if Mark Meyer can get out of this without letting Herrera score it, it could be a game-changing run.
As that one's fouled off towards the Albany dugout, and Durfee's behind the count, 0-2.
One of the coaches from the Dutchman's dugout yelled out to Herrera after that one, "That's a halfway fly ball," saying that he should have been halfway in between second and third and not on the bag. Probably would have scored pretty easily if that's where he was.
Durfee behind in the count, 0-2. Long set from Meyer, deals breaking ball way upstairs, 1-2.
Just looked like that one slipped out of his hand as he was throwing it. Obviously not where you want to put a breaking ball.
And Meyer deals the 1-2s. Lined into right field. It's off the glove of LaGravenese, as that probably saved run, but should have been able to come up with that one, so it should be an RBI single for Zach Durfee. And the score is now 2-1 Dutchman.
Yeah, that would have been a great play by LaGravenese, one that you kind of expect him to make, but you really can't expect him to make. It was a leaping catch, and it went off his glove. Then he had a shot to grab the ball and throw out Durfee at first, but he just wasn't able to get a handle on it.
Yeah, at least he was able to pop it up in the air and almost still came down with it. As the runner goes, throw down to second, stops halfway, Pedersen caught, and he is out at the plate. Nice play by Luke Pedersen to get John Skidmore caught stealing. As that'll go 2-6-2 to end the inning. But the Dutchmen come back with 2 runs to take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, great play by Pedersen and Russo behind the plate. Both ways, the throw down to second was great, and the throw back home and the tag was great as well. So able to keep it as only a 1-run lead, but this looking a lot like the game last night, a game that was back and forth. There was a bunch of lead changes last night between the Stallions and the Dragons, and after Saugerties scores in the first, the Dutchman able to put 2 up and take the lead right back in the second.
And it's going to be key. Let's see what keeps happening all night. Can the Stallions bats answer, and then can Albany keep answering? So we could be in for another, like you said, back and forth affair. It'll be Kelder, Teeter, and LaGravenista hitting the bottom half of the inning for the Stallions.
They've got a tall order with Mike Pepio on the mound. Pepio did give up a run in the first, but it was only on one hit, which was a bloop single by Gonzalez. The rest of the runners were a couple of errors, a swinging miss, strike 3 on Feinstein where he reached first because the ball ended up going on top of the backstop and into the VIP section.
Well, it was a bit of a weird inning, but I'm sure the Stallions coach Tom Whitaker will take it, runs a run in the end. So Kelder will lead off. He had a huge night last night, going 2 for 3 with 3 RBI, had a big bases clearing double when the team was down 2 in the 7th inning and brought the team back into it after they had blown the lead.
Yeah, that was a huge hit that needed to happen for the Stallions. The energy was kind of lost, and then Glens Falls walked the bases loaded. Well, 2 walks and the hit batter for Tyler Kelder, and that was all he needed. The first pitch he saw, he lined to the right center field wall.
Yeah, Kelder, a very aggressive hitter up there. Always hacking, draw his first walk last night. As Isena, he rips that one down the line. Fair ball into the corner. As that one's going to be fished out of the corner there by Herrera, as Kelder's in the second with an easy double.
Yeah, Tyler's been absolutely ripping, and that's one of his favorite pitches. It's not a pitch that conventionally you should swing at. That one was at his eyes, but he's just able to turn on it and line it down the left field line. And I talked to him last night. I said, I see you swing at a lot of those pitches, but often something like that happens. He says, yeah, I got to stop swinging at him, but doesn't seem like he should stop swinging at him.
I mean, hey, a hit's a hit. Sometimes you just got to keep doing what's working, and Kelder swinging at pitches belt high and to the letters. He's putting good contact on and hitting it hard. So he leads off second with another double. That'll bring up Nick Teeter, the designated hitter.
Yeah, Kelder leading the team in batting average, came in hitting .391.
And the pitch to Teeter just a bit low, it looks like. 1-0.
Continues to rip. Teeter was hitting very well at the beginning of the season. He's dropped down to hitting .255. Still always a very dangerous hitter at the plate.
Yeah, Teeter always gives 110% on every one of his swings, even with 2 strikes. He's always looking to hit the ball just as hard as he can and make someone have to field it.
He suffered from some tough luck this year as well.
As he fouls that one first base side out of play.
Probably leads the Stallions in warning track flyouts.
Yeah, he's hit a couple this year that just keep carrying. He's got good. He's got sneaky power. The ball just carries and carries and carries. What looks like a lazy fly ball suddenly turns into a warning track shot. But he takes a strike at the knees, 2-2.
Teeter here just has to hit the ball to the right side, get Kelder over to third base for LaGravenese.
And the 2-2 swung on a miss, strike 3. Good off-speed pitch by Pepio there. Yes, that'll bring up Pat LaGravenese, the second baseman.
Yeah, that was a great off-speed pitch by Pepio after coming with 2 fastballs. When he's got such great speed, that one just floated in there. Teeter was not ready for it. Even though it was up in the zone, the change of speeds was enough to get him.
So it'll be LaGravenese, the hitter, as he comes up with a bit of an unorthodox walk-up music. And he takes a strike. Most players usually pick some kind of hype-up song, but LaGravenese enters the Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon.
Pat's bat has been heating up. He's up to 273 on the year.
And that breaking ball is a called strike, and the count 0-2.
12 for 44. He only has 2 RBIs. He's also only struck out 4 times in his 44 at-bats.
I'm sure he'd love to add to that RBI total right here. And the 0-2 outside, 1-2. Sam Russo on deck. And Kelder leads off second, and that ball is chopped to first. And that's a nice play over there by Holland, who takes it himself. LaGravenese gets the runner over at least with 2 away.
Yeah, it does allow Tyler Kelder to score on an infield single or a wild pitch here, but not a tremendous difference going from second to third once there's 2 away.
Yeah, because now you don't have to hit the ball hard now to really get him in. And like you said, a wild pitch could score him with the lefty throw, and Kelder should be able to at least get a fairly decent lead off third.
Russo, the catcher out of Butler University.
As that one misses.
Comes in 3 for 21 on the year. Does have 1 double. It's batting .143.
And like we said at the beginning of the evening, he's battling a bit of an injury and hasn't played much, as that one's lined into left center field for a base hit. And there's an RBI single for Sam Russo, and the score is tied at 2.
Well, that's great to see for the Stallions, not only because it ties the game at 2, but Sam Russo coming off of that injury, and first at bat, he's able to line one into left field, a huge RBI single.
And that'll turn the lineup over now to Nick Campana, the leadoff hitter, who reached on an E4 to start the game. And that one misses. Campana's trying to be aggressive on the bases, was a little too aggressive, getting picked off for the second time in as many nights.
Yeah, him and Pedersen were both picked off by Papio in the first, but Luke was actually able to get to second and turn it into a stolen base.
As that one misses low.
Where Campana was not as lucky. Both throws from Brant Holland were picks for John Skidmore, but the one for Campana was much easier to handle.
And 2-0 inside. Oh, no, it's not. I count 2-1. Way Campana moved from our angle. Looked like that one might have been a bit inside, but home plate umpire didn't think so. As Russo gets back.
Papio's move has really been getting the Stallions all night long. Russo, not a guy who really runs. He hasn't tried to steal a base tonight, and I don't think he was going on that one. He just had a very late reaction to get back to the bag.
And the 2-1 breaking ball in there for a called strike, 2-2. And the 2-2 to Campana is fouled off. Just got a piece of that one.
Yeah, that's that off speed from Pepino that comes in and drops a little bit, and Campana was just able to react at the last moment. He decided it was going to drop into the zone for a strike, so he was able to spoil it.
And he deals the 2-2 as Campana lines that one into center field for a base hit. Russo moves to second. So the Stallions got a bit of a rally going here with 2 outs. And the hitter will be Luke Pedersen.
Yeah, another tremendous piece of hitting from the Stallions. Down 2-2 in the count, and it's a breaking ball dropping around the knees. He's just able to flick it right into center field for a line drive base hit, and Stallions trying to get the lead back here. Got a man in scoring position with 2 outs for Luke Pedersen.
Yeah, kind of similar to the pitch that Jack Gonzalez hit for the RBI single last night. Was way out in front of the breaking ball, but just got the bat to the ball, and these guys are big, strong hitters, and they're able to muscle into the outfield for base hit. Instead of, sometimes you see guys, they're out in front of it, and they try to hold up, and they just end up rolling over the top of it for an easy ground out. But the Stallions have done a tremendous job, and instead they're able just to smack it into the outfield for clean singles. So now it'll be Pedersen, who reached on an E6 his first time up.
Pedersen has 7 RBIs on the year so far. A shortstop from the University of Minnesota.
As that ball's grounded into the hole between third and short, as the shortstop Skidmore is able to get to it to keep it from going into the outfield, but there's no play anywhere, as that'll be a base hit. So 3 consecutive singles have loaded the bases here for the Stallions with 2 out.
Yeah, that's one you see Pedersen do all the time, and one of the reasons why he was second in the Big Ten in batting average this past year, as he just puts the ball on the ground to the left side in between short and third, and with his speed, if Skidmore got there, he had no shot at Luke. Skidmore actually doing a great job of keeping that in the infield. If it went into left, Sam Russo probably would have scored.
So now they'll bring up the red-hot Matt Feinstein, who struck out and actually reached first base his first at-bat. Ball bounced on top of the screen and actually went to the VIP section behind home plate. And there's a strike, breaking ball.
Feinstein coming in hitting .339. That's the third best on the team, only behind Taft and Kelder.
On deck, the team RBI leader, Jack Gonzalez. And there's a called strike on the outside corner, 0-2.
Yeah, 2 breaking balls on Feinstein. Just tough pitches to hit, both backdoor coming in around the knees, and Feinstein will call time and step out, something he loves to do.
Yeah, Feinstein, a very patient hitter, been very good this year at working the count. Just walked a lot, hasn't struck out much, but look to do some damage here behind the count, 0-2.
Yeah, the righty from Dartmouth has been playing tremendously for the Stallions. See what he can do here with the bases juiced.
As that one misses high. Stallions already 1 run in on the inning on the Sam Russo single. And the 1-2 misses up and away, and the count 2-2 now. Feinstein battling back.
Yeah, another tough one to take there is that fastball up and out coming in looks exactly like those backdoor breaking balls that end up as strikes, and Feinstein was thinking about it and was able to hold off.
And the 2-2, and that one's nubbed down the first base line, foul. Just turning foul before it got to Brent Holland, the first baseman.
Yeah, good break for the Stallions. That one, Feinstein just had to fight it off as another backdoor breaking ball from Pepio. And it was fair most of the way down the first base line, and there's so much backspin on it that it tailed foul just at the last minute.
So I'll give Feinstein another pitch here at least to try to plate a couple of runs. As a base hit should score Campana, and the 2-2 inside, ball 3, and the count goes full at 3-2, and that'll release the runners.
And Pepio still with no walks on the year, so expect him to go at Feinstein. Feinstein second in the league with walks. Don't expect him to chase.
And the 3-2 called strike 3 on the inside corner. Feinstein in the crowd not happy with that one, as he looked like he was about ready to head down to first base.
Yeah, that one actually, you know, it's tough as a home plate umpire, but that was actually a dreadful call. That one was really well below the knees, and you don't like to go after them a whole lot because everybody makes mistakes. That one, though, a tough break for Feinstein. That one was around his ankles, and he got rung up on it. So he had a chance to get a lead for the Stallions, but taken away from the home plate umpire there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate if you're Feinstein, the guy who doesn't. If you're Feinstein there, you like to. If you're Feinstein there, he doesn't strike out much. He's got a very good eye, so kind of sometimes guys like that you trust when it's a ball as opposed to a strike.
Yeah, and it was a battle of a guy who hasn't walked a man this year and Feinstein, who's second in the league with walks. And Feinstein was sure it's low. He's not a guy who argues a lot. He's a guy who normally shows almost no mannerisms on the field, but he really let the home plate umpire hear it after that one. He was very unhappy.
Yeah, there's stories of some of the legends like Ted Williams that sometimes, you know, if you called if there was a close pitch, if he just took it, the umps kind of gave it to him because he had a better eye than them as a hitter. He had such a great eye, so.
Unfortunately for Feinstein, he hasn't built up a Ted Williams-like reputation here in the PGCBL.
Not yet, at least.
As Tyler Kelder, when they're warming up right now, he just threw that one probably 10 feet over Andrew Taft's head over at first base, and the two of them just laughed. That's one thing you see with the Stallions this year is they seem to be having a lot of fun together. Jack Gonzalez, every time he's on first, is always racing out the second baseman. They're definitely having a lot of fun this summer.
Yeah, they're definitely playing as a team. They're always out there giving high fives and backing each other up, which is always important, you know, especially a sport like baseball, you can't really carry your team by yourself. You look at like the team like the Angels, as great as Mike Trout has been for years. The team hasn't had the results because he doesn't have, the supporting cast around him. So that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Brad Knighting, who was at the plate when the Dutchman tried a double steal, but John Skidmore was thrown out at the plate. He's swinging first pitch and lines that one into left field. Back going Gonzalez to make the catch, and there's one away.
Yeah, it's subtle, but it was a good play there by Gonzalez. When it's hit right at you and over your head, it's tough to decide which way to turn. At first, he turned his left shoulder, and then he realized he had to adjust. He was able to make the turn like an everyday outfielder back over to his right fielder and make the catch.
Yeah, light's not on quite yet. We've seen a couple of the visiting teams lose a ball on the lights before. There was an instance last night. Tyler Kelder got a base hit on a ball that should have been caught, but both the second baseman and the right fielder for Glens Falls just lost it in the lights. As Gallo swings at a pitch above his head, and they count 1-1.
And I think Gallo was looking breaking ball, and he was sitting on it there. He got a fastball from Meyer in his eyes, and he had already swung more than halfway around when he realized his mistake.
And that one misses low, 2-1. Gallo struck out in the first inning. Only strikeout of the evening so far. And that ball is grounded up the middle. Slow roller. Pedersen gets there. Fields throws to first as Taft does a great job to keep his foot on the bag, and a tremendous play by Luke Pedersen and Andrew Taft. And there's 2 away.
Yeah, tremendous play by Pedersen and Taft there. That was great ground covered by the Stallion shortstop, and then a great job by Taft over at first, who had to reach full extension off the base and kind of teetered his left foot that was on the bag to come off a little bit to grab it and then sit back down on it before Holland could, or before Gallo could reach first base.
And Albany manager Nick Davey looks like he's come out to ask for an appeal on that one to see if Taft kept his foot on the bag.
From my angle here, it looked like he was out, but now they're calling out Tom Whitaker, which can't be a good sign for the Stallions.
As we're not... I'm assuming it was about that play at first base.
Yeah, as am I, and looking at the replay as we just got it here on our Facebook live stream as well, you could see that he was able to stay on the bag.
And based off Tom Whitaker's reaction, doesn't seem to be going in the Stallions' favor. There was an issue last night with the umpiring with Tom Whitaker.
And they are now ruling Gallo safe at first, and Andrew Taft cannot believe it.
There was a couple plays last night that were changed after an appeal involving that didn't go the Stallions' way. So Tom Whitaker sure is getting quite frustrated with the umpires the past 2 evenings after the Feinstein call as well.
And Gallo is not a guy you want on first base. He's a guy who can run. So far this year, he's 9 for 9, so...
As Meyer keeps Gallo close.
Yeah, Meyer showing him some respect over there as Gallo can run.
Gallo reaching on a base hit, but we can hear other people talking about that should be an E on the umpire. And he deals. That one's fouled straight back. 1-1. Holland flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Gallo leads off first, one out here in the third inning, tied at 2. As that one's launched foul into the Albany bullpen, count 1-2.
Yeah, it looked like Holland was on that one. He would track that breaking ball all the way in, hit a nice line drive, but just fouled on the right field line. We'll see with 2 strikes on him now if Gallo will take off. His 9 stolen bases are good for 4th in the PGCBL.
So Meyer comes set at the letters and deals. That one's launched into right field. Feinstein doesn't have to move too much as he'll make the catch, and there's 2 away. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Trace Tyre. Another very dangerous hitter for the Dutchman.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, the first 4 guys can all hit the heck out of the ball. Tyre comes in 5th in the league with his .365 batting average.
As that one's lofted into the air down the left field line. Long run for Jack Gonzalez, who slides and can't make the play, but it's a foul ball.
Yeah, tough play for Gonzalez, playing Tyre, a lefty hitter to pull, so he's out in left center field. That was a long run for him and really didn't have a shot at it, but a good sliding attempt at it in foul territory.
That one was clearly foul after what was an issue last night involving Tyler Kelder, as the Stallions thought a ball should have been ruled fair, and as it hit off the left fielder's glove and then went into foul territory.
That's always a tough call because you have to rule if the outfielder touched it in fair territory, and he was sliding towards the line last night. That one went against the Stallions, as a lot of calls have been lately, to the dismay of Tom Whitaker.
As Tyre barely gets a piece of that one, the count 0-2.
Yeah, Trace definitely wasn't looking fastball there. Meyer was able to sneak it by him. He realized he wanted to swing too late. Fouled that one basically 180 degrees away from him into the Stallions dugout.
And he's behind the count 0-2. As Meyer comes set and deals. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So despite Gallo reaching on the error, not sure who it was scored on, but they did score an error. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, we're tied at 2.
That is one thing I disagree on that call, ruling an error. Is if it's an error, it must have gone on Luke Pedersen, but Pedersen I didn't think should have even gotten to that ball. And to get to it and then rule an error on the throw, that's a tough call to make.
Yeah, it was a incredibly difficult play either way. But nonetheless, Meyer is still able to buckle down and get the 3 and 4 hitters out. Very difficult, dangerous hitters to.
Yeah,
without a hard hit ball.
Yeah, the 2 hitters who are 5th and 6th in the league in batting average, which you don't see on any other team. And he was able to retire them both, which was impressive, as well as keeping an eye on Gallo over at first, who's a perfect 9 for 9 on the year in stolen base attempts. Harper, the winner of the Dizzy Sack race tonight, absolutely blew away the 2 boys she was hopping against.
Not sure who the one kid was, but he didn't even look like he could put the sack on.
Hate to see that. We'll go to the comments now, as one of the comments could win these Stallions shorts here we've got tonight. Diane Meyer Tamilo says, good evening, let's go Stallions. Great to see that she's back. And Joan Gronwald Campana says, we're here at Charlotte. Larry Swart says, time to stomp the Dutchman. Skip Van Barkham says, go Stallions. Maribel Sesto says, go Nick. Jackie Clark says, Pepio pronounced like Pep Boys. Thank you, Jackie Clark. I actually picked that up. I was pronouncing his name incorrectly in his first couple batters, and then I read that, and I said, all right, now I know how to pronounce his name.
We've also got word that this game is actually being broadcasted all the way in Hong Kong with Tom Tom, the exchange student who played the saxophone for the national anthem a couple times here earlier in the years. Jack Gonzalez launches this one into deep right field. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Jack Gonzalez, his first home run of the year, a long solo home run. And the Stallions take a 3-2 lead just like that.
Yeah, you discussed as Jack stepped up to the plate his first time that even though he leads the Stallions and is 9th in the league in RBIs, he had not hit a home run so far, and he answers you here in the second inning. That was a breaking ball from Pepio, and Gonzalez absolutely teed off it, straight off the Nacarado insurance sign about 370 feet away out in right center.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter off the bat, and I'm sure he feels good. He hit 6 home runs this year at Stetson in college, and then came to the Stallions. He's been the cleanup hitter all year, leading the team in RBIs, and he finally connects on one for a home run. Now another very dangerous hitter, Andrew Taft, at the plate. Swings and a miss for a strike.
Looks like Taft had his eyes on the playground behind the left field fence over there on that swing. Big cut and swung through the breaking ball from Pepio.
And it'll be the 0-1 to Taft, way upstairs for a ball. Gonzalez now in the evening, 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a home run as he continues to be red hot. Last night he reached on a walk twice, was hit by a pitch, and had the go-ahead single. As Taft takes that one low.
Yeah, Jack Gonzalez, just like Luke Pedersen and Matt Feinstein, he's been a staple in this lineup. He's been hitting cleanup every game at home. He's been doing a tremendous job.
As Taft takes one on the inside corner, a called strike. Well, whenever we're handing the lineup card, if we don't see Nick Campana, Luke Pedersen, Matt Feinstein, Jack Gonzalez, at least as the top 4, it's a bit of a surprise to us up here.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal in the press box if that isn't the first 4. You can usually say the first 4 or 5 without looking.
Yeah, Taft's been the number 5 hitter all year as he grounds that one, and that one takes a weird hop over the head of Nick Gallo. And a wide turn for Taft as that one looked like it hit the lip of the grass and just bounced straight up in the air.
Well, pretty similar to what he did the first time at bat. He absolutely ripped one to John Skidmore at short, but that time it was another hard ground ball in the infield, and he got the lucky Cantine hop, and it went straight over Gallo at second. So a little lucky base hit, although he did hit it hard for Taft.
So that'll bring up another absolutely scorching hot hitter in Tyler Kelder.
Yeah, Kelder's only seen 1 pitch tonight, but he absolutely ripped one down the left field line, a fastball in his eyes for a double to lead off the inning, and came around to score.
As that one's bounced in front of the plate, Kelder, an extremely aggressive hitter. Finally drew his first walk last night in the season.
Yeah, he joined a couple weeks in as a Kingston varsity team. Made it to the state Final Four and then lost there to Liverpool, who ended up winning it all.
At least they can take comfort in losing to the eventual champions. There's really no better team you can lose to than the team that ends up going all the way. At least you could say you lost to the team that's number 1. And the 1-0 is a called strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened to my team my senior year in high school when we won Section 9. We then lost to the eventual state champs in the regional final, and it's kind of makes you feel a little better about it.
As that one misses low and away, 2-1 to Kelder.
Although losing when you're that far in the tournament never feels good.
I'm sure it doesn't. On deck, Nick Teeter for the Stallions as they look to add to their 3-2 lead. Already 7 hits, and we're only in the 3rd inning. As Biko said at the beginning of the broadcast, it was, 6 innings for Pepe without allowing a base runner. No hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts, and been roughed up here so far.
Yeah, his stats were actually unbelievable coming into the game. 6 1/3 without letting anyone on base, and Stallions already with 7 hits tonight have been able to get to him. He still hasn't allowed a walk, although that 3-2 bases loaded pitch to Matt Feinstein, I'm sure Matt will argue, should have been a walk.
That would have also been another run scored for the Stallions, but instead it ended the inning.
For the rest of the night, on them, free hot dogs.
It's just been announced that thanks to Jack Gonzalez's home run and Delvecchia and Kraft injury attorneys, that free hot dogs for the rest of the night for everybody in attendance.
Yeah, as many as they have in the stand here at Cantine, at least.
As Kelder launches that one into deep left field, that ball is going to be one hopper off the wall. That's fielded out there by the left fielder Herrera, and Taft is going to stop at third as Kelder continues to absolutely stroke the ball.
It's exactly where he likes to hit. He got one up around the letters, and he drove that one all the way to the 360 sign in left center. He's now 2 for 2 with 2 doubles to the left field wall tonight. And Tyler Kelder, as I mentioned, I talked to him last night. He said he's hitting much better here against D1 pitchers than he even hit in his varsity season that just ended so recently.
Yeah, it's a big jump to go from high school to here, and it's a wood bat league too, and he's almost hit a couple of them out, and he does have a home run off Albany about a week ago. In his last 3 at-bats, he's got 3 doubles. As Pepio deals the teeter, that one's chopped to third. As Allen fields and throws to first, Taft staying at third.
Well, that was the one place that Teeter couldn't hit the ball to get Taft in. Taft would have scored on a ground ball to one of the middle infielders. But Chase Allen playing in on the grass there, and Taft, not one of the fastest guys on the Stallions, really didn't have a chance going home.
Yeah, with nobody out there, you don't risk it. You got a big rally going, and you're really getting to the pitcher, so you might as well just stay there, and you still got guys like LaGravenese and Russo who can put the ball in play and try to do something there as that one misses. 1-0.
Dutchman middle infield still playing back. They'll trade an out for a run as Holland and Allen at the corners are playing even with the bag.
As LaGravenese ground ball to second, as Gallo will field and check Taft. Infield was playing in.
Yeah, they actually came in on the pitch after the first pitch to LaGravenese was a ball. They came in while Pepio was coming home. And that was a great decision. It was a ground ball straight to Gallo, and once again Taft with nowhere to go. So on 3 pitches, 2 big outs for Pepio, and second and third with no outs is all of a sudden second and third with 2 outs.
Russo did have an RBI single last inning in the second with 2 out to score Kelder, who was on third. So let's see if he can get this done here. In the same situation. A nice block there by the catcher, Villa.
Yeah, Villa's been great so far tonight. The only ball that got by him that ended up hurting was Feinstein's strike 3 that went between his legs and then into the VIP seating. But that's actually the only wild pitch there has been tonight at all. He's been great.
And Pepio deals. That ball is stroked into center field for a base hit. Taft is going to score. Here comes Kelder, and it's cut off. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Sam Russo, and the Stallions now lead 5-2.
Sam Russo once again up with 2 outs, a man in scoring position. This time actually 2 for him, and he delivers again. Another line drive, that one straight up the middle. Tyler Kelder running on contact comes in to score his 2nd run of the game. And that's a big 5-2 lead for the Stallions as Pepio so far before tonight was unhittable. Stallions have been able to get to him. Already 9 hits and 5 runs in less than 3 innings.
Yeah, this is going to be a 3rd plate appearance for Nick Campana. We're only in the 3rd inning, so this could be a long night for the Dutchman bullpen. And here's the first pitch to Campana. Called strike on the inside corner. I'm sure that feels good for Russo as he's now, I think he came into the game with only 2 RBIs, got 3 tonight. And Campana, big swing, fouls that one straight back, 0-2.
Yeah, Nick not happy with that one. It was an 0-1 pitch, but it was a fastball that he thought he should have drove somewhere. He is tied for 3rd in the PGCBL with 8 doubles, so he can drive the ball. It was a fastball middle in. Now he's down 0-2.
Definitely something I'm sure if he sees the tape, he'll admit that he should have been able to put into a gap, and the 0-2 is way upstairs. Luke Pedersen on deck, who's also hit the ball very well the last couple nights. Whole team's been red hot the last 2 evenings, scoring 8 last night and 5 tonight. As Campana knocks that one first base side out of play.
Yeah, Brent Holland tracking that one all the way to the right field fence, but it ended up falling about 10 feet out of his reach and over the wall, as there is life in the Dutchman bullpen, a righty up for Albany. Pepio looked like he was going to get out of this one. He had second and third no outs and got 2 quick ground outs.
As Campana gets under that one. And that one's sky to short. Skidmore is underneath it, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. But the Stallions strike fast with a solo home run by Jack Gonzalez. First home run of the season at home for the Stallions. And then a 2-run single for Sam Russo. And the score is now 5-2.
Yeah, great lead for Mark Meyer, who's looked great on the mound so far tonight. And he'll go out there for the top of the 4th inning. And as Mark Meyer will take his warm-up pitches, it's a great time to remind you that if you have a kid who plays baseball or softball, the Stallions baseball and softball camps are a great way to get better during the summer. It's 1 week that is just ending tomorrow. It was from the 26th to the 30th, and then the next week will be July 10th to July 14th. So check those out. It's just 9 a.m. to noon for the 5 days, so it's 15 hours of coaching, ages from 9 to 12 as well as 13 to 16, and guys get to learn from the Stallions and the coaching staff, and the girls get to learn from the SUNY New Paltz players and their coaching staff as well. It's really an invaluable experience.
You get to learn from a couple of local legends in Steve Freer and Tom Whitaker. Tom Whitaker, accomplished player for the Saugerties Dutchman back in the 80s, and Steve Freer, an accomplished athlete at Saugerties High School. I know he won a state championship in 1985. My father, that's his one high school highlight. But then Freer also the school's all-time leading scorer in basketball.
Yeah, that he is.
1,400 points. That's accomplishment that we're probably never likely to see broken.
Yeah, the Saugerties does have a 7th grader who led the varsity team in scoring last year, averaged about 25 points a game. But it's likely that after a few years he will go to prep school. And
bigger and better things, as that kid looks like he's got tremendous potential.
If he stays on his average, though, he already scored over 400 points in his first year. I mean, if he stayed with Saugerties, he'd be... do some quick math. He'd be scoring around 2,500 points. Yeah, which is pretty unheard of.
He'd be able to challenge Freer, but like Biko said, he's probably got a very bright future and could possibly be moving on to a bigger high school. As it'll be Chase Allen, the K-Man, to lead off the inning for the Dutchman. Allen worked a walk and came around to score back in the second. As Meyer deals, there's a strike.
Yeah, it's 5-6-7 here for Albany.
And there's a strike. And Allen behind the count quickly, 0-2. And the 0-2 from Meyer. Just missing low. Crowd wanted that one.
Yeah, I think in general that's a ball, but definitely the same spot that Feinstein struck out on earlier.
And that one swung on a miss. Strike 3. Chase Allen goes down, and this crowd's excited. Stallions had a home run, grabbed the lead 5-2. Now they get 2-for-1 beers in the next half inning.
Yeah, between last night and tonight, 2-for-1s have been really going well for the Stallions. It's really never a good feeling, though, for the K-Man, as Chase Allen has to walk back to the dugout while AC/DC sings "Have a Drink on Me."
As that'll bring up the left fielder, Griffin Herrera, as he takes one low. Doubled and came around to score in the second inning.
Yeah, Herrera came in only hitting 105, but absolutely stroked that double in the second inning.
And there's a strike. That strikeout of Allen was Meyer's third of the evening. And the 1-1, and that one's hard ground ball to short. Backhanded there by Pedersen, who throws on to first, and there's 2 away.
That one absolutely scorched by Herrera. He's looking very comfortable in the box tonight. Luckily for Mark Meyer and the Stallions, it was right to Luke Pedersen, who was able to backhand it and throw it across with ease.
Only the 52nd pitch of the evening for Meyer. Pepio was thrown 63 pitches to get through 3 innings.
Beautiful bender there to start Skidmore off. Looks like Meyer has complete control of both his breaking ball and fastball tonight.
As that one's bunted, Meyer's going to field it, and it's going to pull Taft off the bag and hit off the tarp as Skidmore was heading towards second, but elects to retreat back to first base. Took a very wide turn, but good job there by Pat LaGravenese to get out there.
Yeah, that was a great play by LaGravenese and a lucky bounce for the Stallions. I thought Skidmore had second easily, and then it actually bounced off the tarp in right field, and LaGravenese, big hustle play getting there and barehanding it. Would have been a tough play still to get Skidmore at second, and I think it may have been worth it for Skidmore to go for it and be in scoring position with 2 away, but he elects to stay on first base.
I'll bring up Chris Villa, who popped out to Andrew Taft in foul territory his first at-bat.
John only with 1 stolen base attempt this year. He did steal it successfully.
As that one's fouled straight back out of play.
He hasn't been getting a whole lot of playing time so far this summer, even though he is a returner. He only has had 14 at-bats now, counting his 2 tonight.
He's 2 for 2 with an RBI, though, tonight, so trying to fight for some more playing time. And the 0-1 is low.
Villa, catcher from Seton Hall, another Big East guy.
As that one's roped into right field, but right at Matt Feinstein. Hit it about as hard as you can, but right at the right fielder. As we now head to the bottom of the 4th inning, it's Stallions 5 and Dutchman 2.
Yeah, another one scorched for Amsterdam, but right at Feinstein and right, who had no trouble getting that one, as Stanley the Stallion will go out and try and dance to Play That Funky Music White Boy by Wild Cherry. I think he's not doing a half bad job.
Stanley's got some moves tonight.
Oh yeah, you bringing out the sprinkler? Oh, and then he dabs. So that's a debatable move after the sprinkler, but.
And I believe he just whipped a nay-nade.
Love to see him trying to pull out all the moves here tonight. As Stanley dances, it's a great time to remind you that your comment could win these Saugerties Stallions shorts tonight. A random comment will be chosen, and these shorts will be shipped right to you. You can send us what size you want. If you're here or local or you're going to be at one of the upcoming games, you can just come grab it right out of the broadcast booth there instead. Whatever's easiest. But please comment, like, and share our broadcast. The Stallions have come a long way in 3 years as an organization, from no broadcast first year to radio with Tom, Curtis, and I last year, and now we've, thanks to Dave Morris and Morris Computers, have this wonderful video broadcast, and Stallions are blowing up here.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, you know, and we reach a lot of people every night, and pretty soon I feel like we're going to have be challenging the Yankees for the largest regional sports network in the country with the Stallions Entertainment and Sports. So.
I bet.
So I'm sure, you know, team owner Kevin Hinchy had his way, you know, he wants it.
It's 2-3-4 here for the Stallions, with Pedersen, Feinstein, and Gonzalez to take their hacks off of Pepio in his 4th inning of work.
Stallions keeping the bats hot, have 9 hits off Pepio and 5 runs in only 3 innings. As Pedersen slaps that one foul.
Pretty close to our broadcast booth here on the third base side.
Still haven't had one hit into the booth this season. knock on wood, we're going to keep that record intact. There's still always going to be that hole in the back of the wall from last year. As Pedersen smacks that one, that one's going to drop in between the left fielder Herrera and the shortstop Skidmore. As Luke Pedersen continues his hot bat.
Yeah, just finds another hole there. He loves slapping the ball to the left side. He was able to inside out that one. Nice flare directly in between Skidmore and Herrera. Probably couldn't have placed it any better if he tried.
Yeah, you know, you have a batter like Villa who hit the ball about as hard as you physically can the other way and records an out, and Pedersen only lofts a little fly ball, and he gets a base hit.
That's baseball, baby.
Yeah, that'll bring up Feinstein, who's 0 for 2, struck out both times, but reached first base the first time, and last time I would argue that he walked.
Yeah, it was 3-2 bases loaded, and he took a fastball, I'm going to say around the shins.
And that ball is grounded. Skidmore, and it gets through his legs. As that one Skidmore just bucknered, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, it was absolutely ripped by Feinstein, and Skidmore was thinking about turning two. It went right between the wickets. Tough play for John Skidmore. Stallions looked like it was going to be no outs or 2 outs and nobody on. Instead, it's first and third with nobody away. It's also the third error on the night for the Dutchman. Sorry.
That's now 2 on Skidmore and 1 on Gallo. As that'll bring up Jack Gonzalez, who launched a home run to right center field his last time up. He's also got 2 RBI tonight.
Yeah, he got a first pitch breaking ball from Pepio, and he absolutely turned on it. Hit it off the Nacarado insurance sign in deep right center field.
As he takes a strike.
Good move by Pepio after Gonzalez teed off on his breaking ball. Starts him off with a nice fastball at the knees.
Wonderful to see Feinstein take off here with nobody out, or do you let arguably your hottest hitter out? I don't even know who you could argue is the hottest hitter for the Stallions. Half their lineup right now as he fouls that one off.
Yeah, even though Feinstein 0 for 3 tonight, he's been on base twice. He ripped that one, and then, of course, we have Tyler Kelder, who's 4 for 5 in his last 5 at-bats. He's also leading the team in batting average.
Last 3 at-bats, he's hit doubles, and Gonzalez had a tremendous night last night. He's got 2 RBIs and a home run tonight as he looks to add to that. And I'd also argue it's Luke Pedersen as he just checks on Feinstein.
Yeah, Pedersen continues to get on base nonstop, just peppering defenses with flares and ground balls to the left side.
And even when he's made outs the last couple nights, they've been really hard hit balls. And the 0-2 to Gonzalez just misses. Sounded like Albany wanted that one, but count now 1-2.
Yeah, good pitch from Pepio right around the inside corner. We'll see where it was on the replay, but right around the outside corner, sorry. It was a little off the plate as Villa was setting up on the outside corner, and then he pulled his glove out a little more to grab the ball. Feinstein is 4 for 5 on the year in stolen bases. That's second on the team.
As Gonzalez slaps that one, as that one's going to get under the glove of Nick Gallo into left field, as Matt Feinstein's going to go to third. As let's see what that one's going to be scored. That's going to be an E4 for Gonzalez. As Pedersen scores, and it's now 6-2 Stallions.
Yeah, another tough one, and the Dutchman head coach will come out and chat with his infield as both Skidmore and Gallo have 2 errors tonight, and Pepio, although he has given up 10 hits, you add 4 errors onto that, and you know, the defense really not backing up their starting pitcher so far.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 3rd time through the order for the Stallions, and we're already in the 4th inning, so I mean, you look at the scoreboard, 6-10-1. That looks like a full ball game, and you know we're into the 3rd inning with nobody out. So the Stallions looking to make some more damage, as it looks like they're actually going to go to the bullpen, and they're going to pull Pepio. As we're going to try to get the number on this guy.
Yeah, it is the righty who was throwing last inning for Albany. Tough night for Pepio, who came in 6 1/3 without giving up a walk or a hit so far, and then Stallions hit him around for 10 hits. The Dutchman fielders do help out Saugerties with 4 errors as well.
So it'll be number 28 for the Dutchman.
It's Devin Phillips, the 6-foot righty out of Dade City, Florida, who goes to Ave Maria University, coming off his sophomore season. So far on the year, Phillips has thrown 5 1/3, given up 7 hits and 6 runs, only 5 of those earned. His problems so far are walks, 7 walks compared to 6 strikeouts. He does have a win and a loss so far. He's got an 8.43 ERA, so Phillips trying to improve on that. The runners on first and third that he inherits will both be Pepio's.
As I try to find the line on Pepio.
Although Pepio so far has given up 6 runs, not a whole ton of them earned. Only the 3 runs last inning were really a combination of hits.
Pepio's final line will be 3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. Actually, 5 out of the runs so far have been earned. 1 of them was unearned, but 3 strikeouts, no walks, 10 hits. And he's also, like I believe Biko just said, responsible for the 2 men on base.
The 2 men on base, most likely the guys you'll see will be unearned runs, as Feinstein reached on an E6 and Gonzalez reached on an E4, so those will be unearned runs if they do come across, but runs nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a tough break there for Gonzalez as well, because he won't be counted with an RBI, you could argue, because you can't assume the double play. At least they get the ground out, give the man an RBI, but
I really did not think it was going to be a double play. It was going to be tough for Gallo to turn around and tag Feinstein, who was almost past him already. And if he had to try and do a 360 and flip to Skidmore at second, it would have been tough to get Gonzalez, who has pretty good speed going to first. Gabe Massa asks if the broadcast is off the air, but I believe it's not. Everything seems to be working good for me. But if we're having any problems, please comment and tell us.
As that ball gets by the catcher Villa as he throws home, not in time. Matt Feinstein scores on the wild pitch. Jack Gonzalez moves up to second. And it's now 7-2 Stallions.
Yeah, that one just a breaking ball that drifted well low and away. And Villa, who's been doing a great job behind the plate tonight, didn't really have a chance to body it, so he just tried to grab it with the glove, and it went right off the end.
So the score is now 7-2 Stallions, and with a runner on second, nobody out here in the 4th. As they look to pour it on Andrew Taft. I'm sure would love to do some damage here. On deck, the scorching hot Tyler Kelder, who's absolutely roped the ball his last 3 at-bats for doubles.
Yeah, Taft third on the team with his 11 RBIs, only trailing Kelder and Gonzalez, who's on second. As Villa will go out and chat a little bit with Devin Phillips on how to attack Andrew Taft.
So it's an 0-1 to Taft. Jack Gonzalez leads off second, nobody out. 2 runs in the inning already. As that one's in the dirt, Villa, a good stop there, 2-0.
Yeah, good pick there by Villa. Didn't even go with the body. He just decided to go with the glove on that one. He was able to scoop it right out of the dirt. 2-0 pitch, good hitters count for Taft, just looking for something middle of the zone that he can drive.
And 2-0, missing off the outside corner, 3-0 to Taft.
Even though Andrew seems to be pitched around a lot, he only has 6 walks so far on the year.
Not what you want to see if you're head coach Nick Davey out of Phillips. His first batter, he's got 3-0. And there's a strike.
Still a hitter's count, though, for Taft, as Phillips has to come at him, and Taft will chat with the home plate umpire about where that one was. Looked like it was right down Broadway.
And the 3-1, low ball 4. So Taft reaches base for the 2nd time tonight, and that'll bring up Tyler Kelder.
Yeah, 5-pitch walk there to walk Taft. Not what you want to do in your first batter of the game, and now he's got Tyler Kelder, who's 2 for 2 on the night with 2 booming doubles. And he's also 3 for 3 in his last 3 at-bats with 3 booming doubles.
Yeah, this is a real tough situation right here for Phillips with the very dangerous Tyler Kelder top 6 hitters in the Stallion order tonight have all reached base at least twice. Let's see what Kelder does here. And the pitch. Hacking first pitch as usual as he fouls that one off. Kelder looking to do more damage with the Stallions lead already 7-2. Stallions 7 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. Dutchman 2 runs on 3 hits and have committed 4 errors, 2 each by Skidmore and Gallo. As Kelder behind the count 0-1. And a long set as that ball is absolutely tattooed to third and caught by Chase Allen. Tyler Kelder couldn't have hit that ball any harder, and that's a double play for the Stallions.
Yeah, you hate to see that for Tyler Kelder, who absolutely continues to tear the cover off the ball. He stroked that one. Unfortunately for him, straight into Chase Allen's glove, and unfortunately for Jack Gonzalez, Gonzalez was headed towards third. He thought that one was going to go to the outfield. He had no shot at getting back. Taft able to get back to first, though, so no triple play at least.
I don't think Kelder could have done anything else there. He just absolutely annihilated that baseball, but right at the glove of Chase Allen. Anywhere else, that's probably by him.
Yeah, couple feet to the right, couple feet to the left.
As Taft bluffs going to second base as the pitch was low to Teeter.
Taft has not tried to steal a base this year, but good enough bluff there to get some calls from the Dutchman that he was going. If Phillips really doesn't pay attention to him, I guess I wouldn't be surprised to see him take off.
Teeter looking for his first hit of the night as he lines that one into the right center field gap. That one's going to get down, and that one's going to be fielded out there by the center fielder Durfee as he heads into second with a double. So Teeter joins the hit parade as Taft goes to third, and second and third with 2 outs. The Stallions have absolutely tattooed the ball this inning.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there for Teeter, who was 0 for 2 on the night. He absolutely stroked that one into right center field. Good play, though, out there by Zach Durfee, who was able to cut the ball off before it got to the wall. So Andrew Taft, even though he was able to run on contact, had no shot at it. At coming home, that is.
Yeah, Teeter, like Kelder, every time he hits the ball, he hits it hard. And sometimes that could actually hurt the team when you hit the ball too hard as it gets to the fielder quicker. And it'll be Pat LaGravenese with 2 outs here and chance to extend the Stallion lead as they already lead by 5. Only player tonight who hasn't reached base yet for the Stallions.
Yeah, hitting the ball too hard. Definitely not something you can complain about if you're Tom Whitaker, though. When I played JV baseball for Joe DeFino, instead of going 2 for 3 or 3 for 4, what really mattered was quality at bats. And if you lined out like that, it was a cue, as Coach D used to call it.
Yeah, you hear a lot of the professionals. They could go for a 2 for 20 slump, but if they're still hitting the ball hard, they say that that's just baseball right there. Sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them.
Eric Schuer always loves picking on me. Says Susan can't use acronyms because I have trouble with it. Susan said, watching from Deerfield, Ma. I know that's Massachusetts, Eric. Thank you very much. Eric, always love to have you on the broadcast. His son Ian was up here joking around with us earlier before the game. Ian said Eric always loves tuning in, and we really love having Eric. He livens it up in the booth every night with his comments. Always coming after me, coming after Kurt, because we're small guys.
Ian, also one of the lucky players, stay with my aunt and uncle, the Monroe family. As that one misses LaGravenese 3-0. Always a lively household. 3 sons and 3 ball players there staying at the house. As the count now 3-0 to LaGravenese. Wonder if Coach Witt gives him the green light here. As he squares around the bunt. As doesn't look like it's anything more than a bluff, as there's a called strike.
Yeah, Tom's uncle, a big personality as well, always came a lot to throw BP to us when I was on the American Legion team here in Saugerties. And
good old
all smiles.
CB Monroe.
All smiles.
And the 3-1, LaGravenese is going to be chopped right back to the pitcher, who will flip on to first to win the inning, but more damage is done. The Stallions get 2 on a couple of errors, And at the end of 4 full innings, it's 7-2 Stallions.
And as we're done with 4 innings here, we'll get to some more comments. There's been a lot of action here tonight. Stallions have scored in every inning so far. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, and now 2 in the fourth. Trying to get to all these comments is where we left off. My teammate on the Syracuse Club baseball team, Brandon Doss, said 3 of my boys play on the Dutchman. Be kind to them, Biko. Doss, I'll be kind to the Dutchman. You got to be an unbiased as a broadcaster, and we do our best here in Saugerties to call the game evenly. As Josh Wilbur says, Tom with 3 exclamation points. Tom only here for about 8 months in Saugerties, and the whole town really fell in love with him. Had a whole article in the Saugerties Times on him. He was a real hit. As Tom mentioned, he did 2 of the national anthems here at Cantine before the game, and he was really a great guy. Wrestled on the Saugerties wrestling team, played in the Saugerties band. He will be missed. He's back in Hong Kong now. Rich Cheater says, pick me, as we're giving away the shorts tonight. And that could be the comment, Rich. You could be the winner of those. Larry Swart says, I could wear them galloping around town. I think he meant hear them galloping around town. I don't know what he would wear them galloping around town. As Mary Basesto says, you guys have been doing an awesome job. Thank you very much, Mara. Eric Schilber says, what's the Dutchman's over? The over-under for balls lost in the lights tonight. He says, too, Eric, I'm going to go under that. The Dutchman outfielders have been playing great tonight, and although I have a little advantage because I answered this a few innings late, but the past 2 home games, Adirondack lost 2 in the lights. Last night, Glens Falls lost 1. I don't think it's going to be over 2, that's for sure.
I know Biko's got more experience here with the lights than I do, and it doesn't seem like they're that bad.
I've never had a problem with them myself, but I've also had a lot of practice, and when they first came up, it's something that you have to get used to. Sometimes the ball will get up in the lights, and it's just like the sun. I mean, you're just looking at lights. You have no idea where the ball actually is. You just have to wait it out until it comes out of them.
Yeah, one of those things, you see the opposing teams struggle sometimes with the lighting here, but the Stallions have not, most importantly, use it to your home field advantage any way you can, as Meyer pumps in a called strike to Zach Durfee, who will lead off the top of the 5th for the Dutchman.
Yeah, 9-1-2 here for Albany.
And Meyer deals low, 2-1. Durfee had an RBI single back in the 2nd inning for the 2nd run for the Dutchman. And that one's high, 3-1.
Durfee from Malta, New York, going into his sophomore season at Siena. As Siena's got a whole ton of players here in the PGCBL, a local league for them, basically.
And that one is fouled straight back. Count now full at 3-2.
He'll be a future teammate of Avery Short on the Stallions, and Matt Pierce, as well as Tommy Miller, both pitchers for Albany, also on Siena.
Yeah, that one's fouled off, and Dutchman do actually play on Siena's field, so he doesn't have to go very far. So Meyer will come set, and he'll deal the 3-2, as that one's fouled off. I'm not sure if that one actually reached Washington Avenue over the first base side of Cantine Field.
A lot of them do. If you hit it hard and it's going foul on the first base side, it's usually going to reach the streets as long as it avoids one of the nets.
3-2 breaking ball fouled off. And good at bat here for Durfee to start off the inning.
Durfee with an exceptional at bat here, just keeps spoiling pitches. He actually looked on top of that breaking ball, just a little ahead of it.
And that one's called strike 3 on the inside corner. Not sure if Durfee didn't seem to agree with that one.
Yeah, still a great at bat from Durfee. That was the 10th pitch of the at bat that he got called out on. Also, great job from Mark Meyer. Keep battling, keep pounding the zone, and ended up winning the battle over the Dutchman 9-hitter.
As that'll bring up Brad Knighting, who's 0 for 2. It's grounded out and flown out as he squares the bunt and takes one low.
Hitting a tremendous leadoff hitter for the Dutchman out of Rice University, all the way from Texas.
Another one low.
Also comes from North Richland Hills, Texas, so a long trip here.
Quite a few Texas guys actually on this Dutchman team, same as last year. As that one's fouled towards us. And that's over our heads, 2-1.
Kind of sounds like that one landed in the wine garden right to the left side of the broadcast booth here at Cantine.
And that one's roped into center field, but right at Nick Campana. And there's now 2 away. That's at least the 3rd time tonight someone on the Dutchman's hit the ball on the screws, and it's been right at someone.
Yeah, that one was really, I mean, we've said it a few times tonight, but that one was hit as hard as you can hit it. Knighting, one of the best hitters on the Dutchman, was all over it, and Campana actually didn't have to move a step out in center, just had to wait 2 or 3 seconds, got to him quick, but right to his glove.
So now it'll be Nick Gallo, who reached on an error his last at-bat, as that one is low. He was also struck out tonight. He's committed 2 big errors as well for the Dutchman. So
Yeah.
allow the Stallions part of their 7 runs through 4 innings. Meyer working quickly, pumps in the called strike.
Gallo reached on that controversial call on first base with an infield single, his ground ball up the middle that Pedersen threw. He was ruled out at first, and then the umpires got together and ruled him safe. They said that Andrew Taft went off the bag.
Mark Meyer working very quickly now, and the count now 3-1.
Yeah, Meyer throwing the ball, and then he's right back on the rubber ready to throw once again.
And 3-1 to Gallo. Called strike at the belt, and the count now full at 3-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th as Meyer looks to get his second 1-2-3 inning of the evening. That one's a called strike 3. So Meyer gets Gallo looking and gets 2 strikeouts looking, sandwiched around a solid fly ball, but at the end of 5 innings of play, score is still 7-2 Stallions.
Great job by Mark Meyer. He kind of struggled earlier in the year, but tonight he looks like everything's working for him. Only 2 runs in 5 innings so far, and even those 2 runs, it's not like the Dutchman hit him hard in that inning either. So he's been pitching great, as we've got red light, green light now on the field, and we'll get back to comments here, as your comment could win these Saugerties Stallions shorts that a random commenter will win. We'll send them right to you if you send us your size. And
I know I certainly would like to win a free pair of these gym shorts.
you got Stanley right there on the left thigh.
And who doesn't love free stuff, and who doesn't love Stanley?
Josh Wilbur commenting all over the place, saying "Go Stallions," saying "Beako,"
Trying to get your attention there.
and strike him out. Josh, a great guy. One of my friends who's at almost every Stallions game here at Cantine. Landy Bisignano says, "Go Stallions." Jean Marie Fellows says, "Let's go Stallions." Anna Pasquarello Turner says, "Video is dark and then it's better." And you're right. And I noticed that earlier in the game. It did look like our camera, at least behind home plate, was pretty dark. But now that the night stepped in, it has looked a lot better. So thanks for letting us know about that. Joe Bisignano says, "Off to the game, finished all my work." Great to see that you headed here to Cantine after getting everything you need to get done, Joe.
It'll be 9-1-2 for the Stallions here in the 5th inning. Sam Russo 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. Pair of 2-out singles really helped the Stallions out tonight. Jump out to the 7-2 lead as he fouls that one off.
Yeah, Russo coming off an injury, his first 2 at-bats tonight in a couple weeks, and looks like he's in mid-season form. 2 line drive singles, 3 RBIs to boot. Both of them very clutch, coming up with runners in scoring position and 2 away, getting the job done so far tonight. And
that one misses. 1-1. On deck, it'll be Nick Campana to be followed by Luke Pedersen. Stallions already leading 7-2 here in the 5th. As that one misses 2-1.
Devin Phillips in his 2nd inning of work. He came in last inning with 1st and 3rd and nobody out. Got a ground ball, but it ended up getting by Gallo at 2nd base, then was able to get out of the inning.
As that one is big, healthy cut by Russo, 2-2.
A lot of help from Chase Allen at 3rd, who caught the screamer off the bat of Tyler Kelder, which turned into a double play.
Yeah, that ball gets by him. It's at least 1 run scoring, and probably yet another double by Kelder. And the 2-2 is low. Count full now to Russo, 3-2.
Yeah, and being able to grab Gonzalez at 2nd was big too, because Nick Teeter, the next batter, hit a double into right center field, which would have scored him easily.
And the 3-2 to Russo, low ball 4. So Russo looks like he's having himself looks like he's seen the ball well tonight. And that'll bring up Nick Campana, the leadoff hitter, who popped a short back in the 3rd inning. Also has singled and reached on an error. Campana's been a rock at the leadoff spot all year for the Stallions.
He's done a tremendous job.
As that one's hit just foul. Trying to go the opposite way and past the diving try of Holland, but...
Yeah, good piece of wood there by Campana. Just missed a double by a couple inches, although if it was fair, Holland would have had a better shot at coming up with it.
It's one of those plays, if you hit it past Holland, you hit an absolute scorcher because he's holding on the runner Russo, so to get that ball past him on the left, that's got to be tattooed. So 1-0 now to Campana is low.
Campana tied for 2nd in the league with his teammate Matt Feinstein with 20 runs. He's also tied for 2nd in the league with 8 doubles.
And that one looks like it misses just low, and the count now 2-1. Stallions have scored in every inning so far. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and 2 in the 4th, as they lead 7-2. And Campana skies that one, as that one over the broadcast booth, foul. And count now 2-2.
That's a pitch Campana loves to swing at. You see a lot of his doubles come on fastballs kind of up by his letters, where he just drives them out to right center field. Just barely missed that one, fouled it off.
So the 2-2 to Campana, low, and the count now full at 3-2 yet again.
See if Whitaker sends Russo here, a 3-2 count and nobody out. Sam hasn't tried to steal a base yet this year, not known for his speed on the Stallions, but Campana doesn't strike out a whole lot. It's kind of a hit and run.
Not going. 3-2's Campana, just able to get a piece of that one.
Yeah, good 3-2 from Phillips there. Fastball outside corner, very tough pitch to hit. Campana only able to spoil it.
Luke Pedersen on deck has reached base all 3 times at the plate tonight. 2 singles and reached on an error by the shortstop Skidmore. Also has come around and scored twice, so he's having himself a very solid night. And the 3-2 again. Inside ball 4s. Campana reaches on the walk, and it's 1st and 2nd, nobody out.
And it looks like that's going to be the end of the night for Devin Phillips, as Nick Davey takes a slow walk out to the mound. He gestured to the bullpen where a righty has been up for the Albany Dutchman, and Phillips throws 1 inning, leaves runners on 1st and 2nd. It'll be another pitcher, the 3rd of the night for Albany here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So see who the new pitcher is for Albany, who will come in a tough situation. 1st and 2nd, nobody outs for the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Pedersen, Feinstein, and Gonzalez for the Stallions. not really what you want to be thrown into. We'll see who Davey is sending into the fire.
And I mean, the way the Stallions have swung the bat the last couple evenings, and tonight seems like everybody's putting together good at bats. LaGravenese, the only guy not to have reached base twice, and outside that, Teeter's got a double, and he's the only other Stallion who hasn't reached base twice tonight. They have 11 hits, and we're only in the 5th inning.
It'll be Jeff Lonecker to come in for the Dutchman, 6-foot righty from Bel Air, Texas, coming from Trinity University, also another Texas school. He's a hard-throwing righty going into his junior season at Trinity. So far on the year, Lonecker has been terrific. 10 innings pitched. He has given up 8 hits, but only 1 run. Also only walked 3 with 9 strikeouts. He's 2-0 on the year. So Davey going to one of his aces. Only a .9 ERA in his 10 innings of work so far.
Yeah, if you're Nick Davey here for the Dutchman, you're hoping that Lonecker can stop the bleeding and kind of keep the score at 7-2, and hopefully your bats can wake up. And if not, then it could be a long night for the Dutchman as they're trailing by 5 already, and Stallions threatening once again.
Yeah, the Dutchman also riding a 2-game win streak, looking to keep that going. Saugerties just won last night against Glens Falls. That's a 1-game win streak for them, but the Dutchmen are a game and a half ahead of Saugerties. Loss tonight would mean the Stallions only a half game behind the Dutchmen. Albany also 2.5 games behind the surging Amsterdam Mohawks, who are 10-0 in their last 10 games. You can't beat that. Yeah. Dutchmen got off to a hot start. Were in first place for a while, but they're 5-5 in their last 10.
Yeah, they've come back down to earth, and Stallions have been very streaky too this year. It seems like they'll go on a 5-game winning streak, and then they just lost, I believe, 4 in a row. They look now to start a 2-game winning streak. So one of those things is just at least stay about 500 all year and go on a big run, and you could really put together string of wins, and you're definitely having a better year than last year. They only won 14 ball games as a team, and
only 3 games away from that mark now, and it's not halfway through the season, so this Stallions team a lot more successful than last year's already.
So the hitter will be Pedersen against Lonecker. First and second, nobody out. Stallions already leading 7-2. And that one, fastball on the inside corner, missing. Lonecker really bringing the heat there.
Yeah, Lonecker, a hard-throwing righty. Corners are in for Albany, looking to try and prevent a bunt from Pedersen.
Pedersen swinging a very hot bat, though. That one missing in again, 2-0. On deck, Matt Feinstein, who's 0 for 3 tonight, but has reached base twice safely.
Yeah, and he's still one of the hottest hitters on the Stallions. Was lacing the ball last night against Glens Falls.
And 2-0 to Pedersen. There's a strike. Looked like Lonecker took a little bit off that one.
Yeah, with the 2-0 count, and Pedersen, who's a great hitter, but not a very deadly hitter. Luke on the year with only 2 doubles and no extra base hits besides that. He does have 7 RBIs, though.
Sure, he'd love to add to that total here as he chops that one foul. And the count now 2-2 to Pedersen.
Yeah, Pedersen looking to rip on that one. He got another fastball at the knees, but was just way ahead of it, really yanked it almost directly behind him. So now he's got a 2-2 count against Lonecker.
Stallions this season now, it seems like all their hitters, whenever they're up there, you're almost surprised when they don't get a hit. So we're the 4th time through the order for the Stallions, and we're only in the 5th inning. As they lead 7-2 on 11 hits, also been helped by 4 Dutchman errors. And that will be a step off by Lonecker. Looking back, Russo.
Russo hasn't tried to steal a base, and he's certainly not going to try and steal third here, but he certainly wasn't expecting Lonecker to step off. Skidmore and Gallo were well off the bag, though, so there was no one to throw to, even though Russo was pretty far off himself.
As that one is slapped by Pedersen to shallow right field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. And, that's just baseball sometimes. You just put the bat in the ball and things happen.
That's the second hit in a row. Last time he hit a little flare to left field. This time he just placed it perfectly into right field. And that's what Pedersen does. He slaps the ball. He had a 2-2 count there. Saw the first breaking ball of the night from Lonecker. Just able to flick the bat at it and hit a little looper into right field for a base knock.
Yeah, sometimes you just have everything going for you, and sometimes you have everything going against you. It's kind of the night tonight. Like Pedersen's got an infield hit and 2 bloop singles, and a couple of the Dutchmen have hit frozen ropes, but right at outfielders as Feinstein takes a ball.
Yeah, you have Tyler Kelder hitting the heck out of the ball right to third, and Knighting lining the ball straight to Campana in center, but stuff like that will fall.
As the pitch to Feinstein low, 2-0. Feinstein has struck out twice and reached on an error. Also reached on this one strike as the ball bounced and went into the VIP section here at Cantine Field.
Yeah, he did come around to score when he reached on the error last at bat.
As that ball is fisted in the left field, that's a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Campana. That ball's going to be cut off. It's a 2-run single for Matt Feinstein. And the score is now 9-2 Stallions.
Hitters count for Matt, and Matt's a terrific hitter. That was a fastball right over the middle of the plate, and he capitalized, hit a line drive right into left field. Campana with great speed from second. Whitaker, an aggressive guy over at third base, loves to send his guys around, and really no shot at Nick coming home on that one.
And that'll bring up another red-hot hitter in Jack Gonzalez. He's 2 for 3 tonight, reached on an error the other time he got out and was able to score a run, and also has a solo home run. As he's on now with a chance to really blow this lead open as he swings and misses at that one.
Great pitch there from Lonecker after a 2 RBI single from Feinstein. Gonzalez looking to hack up there, and he pulled the string on a nice changeup.
There's that one low. Those 2 runs will be charged to Devin Phillips, who started the inning by walking Russo and Campana. Lonecker is coming and giving up a base hit to Pedersen and a base hit to Feinstein. Stallions have extended the lead now to 7. As Gonzalez takes a called strike.
Yeah, the fans can't believe that one. They've actually laid off home plate umpire Dustin Ragsdale for a while, but they were reinvigorated by that call. Breaking ball around the outside corner. They did not agree with the call.
With a 9-2 lead, you usually are a little bit more relaxed. There goes a double steal as Gonzalez fouls that one off.
And they both had the bases stolen. Luke Pedersen can't believe it. He's very unhappy over at third base that Gonzalez had to spoil his steal. He had a tremendous jump, and he was sliding into third as the ball was coming off of Gonzalez's bat. Feinstein had second stolen easily as well, as he's not being held on at first by Holland. Skidmore paying more attention now to Pedersen.
And the 1-2 to Gonzalez way upstairs. 2-2. Andrew Taft on deck.
Stallions hitters with a great approach at the plate tonight. 13 hits and 9 runs, also only struck out twice.
Only been walked 3 times. As Gonzalez fouls that one off towards us, as few people at the PA and scorekeeping end of the booth scatter.
Yeah, that one actually went off the netting, off the grandstand behind home plate and ricocheted right towards us, but it rolled onto our roof instead of inside the booth.
As Gonzalez chops that one to short. Skidmore gets it, steps on second, throws to first in time, and there's 2 away. So the
good at bat by Gonzalez, just hit it in the wrong direction. Nice ground ball at the middle. Great play by Skidmore, though, to take it to second himself and just barely get Gonzalez over at first, who was hustling down there. Good pick by Holland to pick up Skidmore's ground ball in the dirt.
As that'll bring up Andrew Taft, who has singled and walked tonight, also scored a run. as he looks to try to make it a 10-2 ball game. Stallions have scored in every inning tonight. As he ropes that one up the middle, that's going to get past the diving try of Nick Gallo. It's an RBI single for Andrew Taft as Luke Pedersen scores, and it's now 10-2.
Yeah, tremendous piece of hitting from Andrew Taft, who's hit 3 scorchers on the ground tonight. One of them actually bounced over the head of Gallo. That one right up the middle and gets by the dive of Gallo. The other one ended up being right to an infielder, and it was an out, but big RBI single there for Taft.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there as he picks up an RBI, and that brings up Tyler Kelder, who we keep saying it, just keeps absolutely hitting the heck out of the ball. And if it wasn't for Chase Allen being exactly where he was, you know, probably would have 4 consecutive at-bats with a double. As Kelder swinging first pitch like he normally does, but that's a breaking ball he swings over the top of 0-1.
Yeah, great pitch from Lonecker. Kelder, a big fastball hitter who really crushes the ball middle and up of the zone. That one looked like it was going to be another one, and then it all of a sudden dropped right down to his knees.
As Kelder takes another breaking ball called strike. I don't think Lonecker wants to throw him a fastball. Kelder's eyes light up, it seems, when he sees a fastball.
And I agree with Lonecker's approach. Kelder so far has scorched all 3 fastballs that he's hit in fair territory, so good idea going after him with breaking balls.
Bottom half of the inning for the Dutchman will be Brant Holland, Trace Tyre, and Chase Allen as they trail now 10-2. Stallion bats have been on fire tonight, and the 0-2 to Kelder as he fouls that one off, just missed it.
Another good pitch from Lonecker. A tough pitch normally to hit, fastball up and in, but kind of right where Kelder likes it. If it wasn't 0-2, you'd probably see a more dramatic swing from him. But also a great pitch after 2 breaking balls that kind of started from that spot. Then he pounds him up there with the fastball.
And the 0-2 to Kelder's roped down the left field line for a base hit. And a good job there by the left fielder to cut that off. Herrera to hold Kelder to a single, but that ball is absolutely tattooed yet again.
There's nothing more to say about Tyler Kelder. I mean, his last 5 at-bats, he's hit the ball as hard as you can hit it. He just continues to impress here. I mean, doesn't look like a kid who just graduated from high school. He looks like a guy who's been dominating D1 pitchers for a while.
You start to wonder how many coaches are now kicking themselves here after seeing this hot streak, you know. I'm sure there's a couple that will agree that, you know, sometimes there are some players you just miss. And that brings up another guy, Nick Teeter, who roped to double his last at-bat. As that one misses.
Sharp breaking ball from Lonecker, as that's the one pitch the Stallions haven't driven so far tonight. He's been pretty successful with it.
As that one misses low again, 2-0. Teeter reaches base. It'll be Pat LaGravenese, and the Stallions will have hit around actually for the first time tonight. As Teeter chops that one foul.
Yeah, good pitch to hit there. 2-0 count. It was a fastball count. Teeter got it. Put a good swing on it and just missed it. Fouled it off. It's also a great pitch, though. Even though it was a fastball count, it was a fastball right around the bottom of the knees.
And the 2-1 to Teeter is skied first base side. That one's going to get out of play towards the Dutchman bullpen, and the count now goes to 2-2.
Nice try out there in the pen by Ryan Steffens, who was trying to catch it in his hat and just barely didn't come up with it.
Tough play out there because they keep the batting cage out there.
Yeah, had to fight with the turtle.
So it'll be a 2-2 to Teeter. As that one's chopped to short. As Skidmore bobbles it, and he's going to throw to first, not in time. As Skidmore, I don't know if he got shielded by Taft crossing in front of him or not, but he can't come up with it, so that's going to be his third error of the evening.
Oh, he definitely did, and that was a great play by Andrew Taft. He could have ran right by that one, but instead he decided to stutter and shield Skidmore, which is a tough play for the shortstop, and Taft just darts out of the way of that ground ball at the last second, goes off of the backhand of Skidmore, and loads the bases for Pat LaGravenese.
And no, the Stallions have 15 hits on the night, but it doesn't help for Albany when they've also committed 5 errors with 3 walks, so they just haven't been able to help themselves all night as Pat LaGravenese will hit, as the Stallions have hit around here in the 5th inning. And there's a strike.
LaGravenese wanted a high call on that one. He wanted to hack and then checked to swing, turned around to home plate umpire Dustin Ragsdale thinking it was high, but looking at the replay, it was right around the letters.
As that one, he chops foul into the Stallion dugout. He's behind the count 0-2.
Pretty similar pitch there from Lonecker, and LaGravenese with the check swing puts it right into the dugout. That one probably a couple inches higher.
Pat, the only Stallion not to reach base tonight. Every other Stallion has reached base at least twice tonight, so he's looking to join the party here with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the 5th inning. Stallions leading 10-2 here.
LaGravenese from St. James, New York, and coming to the Stallions from the University of Albany. He's been hitting well this year. So far, only 2 RBIs, though.
And that one, a called strike 3 at the knees. LaGravenese down looking. I think he thought that one was a bit low and away, but Stallions score 3 more times as they've scored in every inning, and they now lead 10-2.
Yeah, that's a heck of 3 more runs great insurance runs for Mark Meyer, who's looked great on the mound. It's tough pitching when you have to sit in the dugout for so long. I mean, he's had probably 20, 30-minute half innings multiple times tonight, and see if he can keep coming out there and throwing the zeros. So far, only given up 2 runs in 5 innings of work.
Yeah, I mean, outside the first inning tonight, the Stallions have been able to put 7 guys to the plate in every other inning. And Meyer has come out and he's got 2 1-2-3 innings, and then only in 2 other innings has he faced only 4 guys. And he's been fantastic, only allowing 3 hits, and he only got 1 walk on the evening.
Little note about Mark Meyer that I did mention on one previous broadcast, but Tom Whitaker came in and was talking with my boss over at Smith Hardware, Rick Smith. They were playing golf over at Palinville Golf Course, and Mark Meyer, according to my boss, who was also there and saw it happen, said he hit the ball about 400 yards, which is just absolutely unheard of. I mean, that's a serious shot, but at 6'6", he's got a lot of momentum he can put into that ball, a lot of leverage.
Yeah, I wish I could drive the ball with my golf swing that far. I'm not sure, as unfortunately I haven't been able to hit the golf course as much as I'd like to in recent years. As it'll be a pinch hitter for the Dutchman.
Yeah, Justin Schilder's getting the pinch hit opportunity here. He's, along with John Skidmore, another one of the few returners for Albany.
As Meyer deals, and that one's fouled off.
Schilder's only with, well, he has gotten 31 at-bats. The last time the Stallions faced him, he had not played a lot, but he's gotten to hit a lot more. Only a 121 batting average so far. He does have an RBI on the year.
As Childers fouls that one off, and he's behind the count 0-2.
And 2 of his 4 hits are doubles, so he can put the ball out there. One thing, Childers, he's down 0-2, but he's only struck out 3 times in 31 at-bats.
As that one's high. And looks like Trace Tyre is still on deck for the Dutchman.
Yeah, interesting to see them pinch hit for Holland, who's one of the best hitters on the team.
As that one swung on a miss, strike 3, foul tipped into the glove of Russo, and that's the 6th strikeout of the evening for Mark Meyer.
As I just mentioned, Childers only 3 strikeouts and 31 at-bats, but Mark Meyer's able to get him on that one. Shoulders from Ohio Dominican going into his senior year. As Trace Tyre will step into the box, the DH.
As he takes that one low. Meyer has been dominant, only allowing really anything except for the second inning, in which the Dutchmen were able to plate 2 runs and temporarily took a 2-1 lead that's been all Stallions since.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be another back-and-forth game like last night, but Stallions have broken out to a big 8-run lead since then.
As Tyre rips that one through the hole in the right side for a base hit.
Great piece of hitting there from Tyre. Just turned on it and hit a hard grounder right into right. He actually had to kind of hustle his tail off getting down to first because he hit it so hard to Feinstein in right. Feinstein was coming up looking to try and throw him out, something you rarely see but does happen once in a while.
As that'll bring up Chase Allen, the K-Man. Sure, the hometown Stallion crowd would love to see him go down in strikes yet again.
Fans chanting, "We are thirsty."
I think they would have gotten their fill last night getting the K-Man 3 times.
And they've already got 1 tonight, but just thirsty fans here at Cantine in general.
As that one is fouled off the home plate umpire's mask, but he looks to be okay.
Yeah, Dustin Ragsdale, that one actually knocked the mask right off his head as Sam Russo will take the courtesy trot out to Mark Meyer. And Ragsdale will walk around a little bit. He did seem to be pretty okay. He just shook it off and threw the ball out to Meyer, but now he's kind of feeling out his face, seeing if everything's where it should be.
I believe it was home plate umpire Chris Smith last night took a beating as well. And he took a foul ball, I think, off the face, took a loose bat off the face, and took a foul ball to the groin.
Yeah, so far Ragsdale faring better than Smith did last night. Also faring better from the fan standpoint. They've laid off him a lot more than Smith. Smith was really heckled last night.
As the count 2-1.
Tyre over at first base, 2 for 3 on the year in stolen base attempts. He can run.
As Meyer comes set. And that one's up and in, 3-1. Allen did walk in his first at-bat back in the second. At this point with the 10-2 lead, you like to see your pitchers just get in there and throw some strikes, make the other team put the bat on the ball. As that one's fouled straight back out of play, and the count now full at 3-2.
Yeah, good job challenging Allen there. Hitters count. Looking for a fastball over the middle of the plate. He got it, but Meyer able to survive that one. The Dutchman, 50 stolen bases already on the year. That's good for first in the league. Stark difference to the 17 from the Stallions, who are last in the league.
And the 3-2 pitch fouled off yet again. Out of play.
Even though they lead the league in stolen bases, down 8 runs, definitely not the time to do it, as it looks like the athletic trainer for the Stallions, Rachel Meyer, and pitching coach Steve Freer will go out and check on Mark Meyer. I didn't notice anything wrong with him, but Steve Freer pointed to him, called time, and ran out, and they'll chat with their big righty.
Yeah, obviously, Freer noticed something. I think it was just the way Meyer just kind of, I guess, moved his shoulder afterwards, so Freer just being very precautionary here.
Yeah, Freer saw Meyer kind of flexing his arm and sprinted out, pulled Rachel Meyer out there, now chatting with Meyer coming in, trying to hear her prognosis on what him waving his arm around could mean.
And Meyer once again will deal the 3-2. That ball's driven high and deep to left field. Back going Gonzalez in front of the warning track will make the catch. And there's 2 away.
That was an absolute bomb there from Allen. 3-2, got a breaking ball, and he was really ready for it. Luckily for the Stallions, he hit it higher than he hit it far. It was probably about 320 feet out to the left field warning track, but also a mile high.
And it'll be Griffin Herrera to bat now with 2 out. And there's a strike. And that one's in the dirt. Nice stop there by Russo, 1-1.
Russo, just like Powell has been doing for the past few weeks, a tremendous job behind the plate. Still hasn't allowed a wild pitch tonight. Everything getting knocked right down.
As that one misses, 2-1. It looks like a little bit of action out in the Dallas Hot Wieners bullpen for the Stallions. As that one swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2.
That's just about as hard as you can swing. Herrera swung out of his shoes, spun right around, and had a big breath of air let go after that one.
So Myers comes set, and the 2-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Meyer dials it up and retires another batter. He's been absolutely fantastic tonight for the Stallions and going 6 very strong innings.
Yeah, Mark Meyer looks terrific. He had struggled earlier in the summer so far, and against a pretty great hitting team in the Dutchman, he's been able to put up a whole lot of zeros, only the 2 runs in the second inning. That's the only offense for Albany so far. As we've got the YMCA, it's the middle of the 6th inning, so as always, it's happening. We'll also get to some comments as the comments keep coming. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you to everyone who has shared and everyone who has liked. One of my coworkers, John Wood, has been watching the broadcast and keeps sharing, and he says, I haven't had any shout-outs, so John Wood, this one especially is for you. I'm so sorry that I've been so inconsiderate on the past broadcast.
I think one of these nights we need to get the camera out there on a good friend of mine, Adam Blank, as he's really getting down for the YMCA really as usual. I believe that was a little bit of a cat daddy right there.
Actually doing the YMCA, not a real rule, it's just
tradition.
Yeah, it's just tradition. Adam will dance whatever he wants to dance. With so much fun going on the field, and of course in the broadcast booth, there is also a new pitcher in for the Stallions. It'll be Jack Grabick, 6-foot lefty from Guilderland, New York, going to Bucknell going into his junior season. If I had to bet my life savings on it, Tom, which I love to do on these broadcasts, probably one of my Syracuse teammates, Brandon Doss's friend. Brandon Doss, also from Guilderland, has played against us in All-Stars many a times throughout the years. Grabick so far on the year has thrown 9 innings. He's given up 9 hits, 7 runs, only 6 earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 9. He has an 0-1 record and only 2 extra base hits given up. He's got an even 6 ERA. So good opportunity to lower that here tonight as he comes in trying to just do damage control for Albany.
Yeah, at this point, that's all you can do and just soak up innings. As it's Sam Russo, sounds like he might have broken that bat. As Russo is 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs and a walk and a run scored. And he's been very busy and played a tremendous catcher tonight.
Yeah, his first game back from his injury, he's settled right in. I actually thought on that one it was a great swing, and I thought it was going to be lined a lot further down the right field line. It ended up kind of stopping right around Holland and foul territory over at first. But Russo really seeing the ball well tonight. Those 2 line drive singles, already 3 RBIs, as you mentioned, the walk.
It's actually Justin Childers staying in after a pinch hit for Holland at first base. As that pitch is low. It'll be Russo, Campana, and Pedersen, the same three who led off last inning. With all three coming around to score the 3 runs in the inning for the Stallions, as that one's in the dirt. And it count 2-1.
Yeah, scoring 3 runs and then loading the bases. As the Stallions have scored 1 run in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, then 3 in the fifth, looking to keep pouring on here in the bottom of the 6th.
As I'm sure Coach Tom Whitaker would love to see the offense keep it, just not stop, not let up the gas.
Stallions offense has been good this year, kind of in the middle of the pack of the league in terms of runs scored with 122. The pitching staff has given up 121, so they've got a +1 on the year.
As Russo, a big healthy cut, and the count now full at 3-2.
Of course, that was coming into tonight, and so far we've got an 8-run lead over Albany, so make that a +9 run differential so far on the season for Saugerties.
The Stallions have been winning a lot of blowout games. And 3-2 swung on a miss. Strike 3, Russo down swinging. And that'll bring up Nick Campana. Campana 1 for 3 on the night with a walk.
Campana doing a great job in center, coming to the Stallions from East Chester, New York, and the University of Hartford.
And that one swung on and missed. Luke Pedersen on deck. Wonder how long Tom Whitt will keep his starters in, as Campana pops that one up. Actually, that looks like a new shortstop. That's Peyton Sockwell taking over for John Skidmore, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Skidmore, tough night in the field so far. He had 3 errors, and it'll be a defensive change from Albany head coach Nick Davey to put in Sockwell.
So it'll be up to Pedersen, as the Stallions have scored in every inning, and there's 2 away here.
Yeah, Pedersen hasn't put one out of the ballpark yet this year.
I don't believe he hit one out either in his college season at Minnesota. Sticks that one high. Pedersen finished 2nd in the Big Ten in batting average before coming to Saugerties. Had a tremendous year with the Golden Gophers, who have a tremendous college nickname as well. And there's a strike. On deck, if he can reach, is Matt Feinstein. It's going to be tough to figure out a player to interview after this game. A lot of definitely worthy candidates. And the count now 1-2.
Yeah, might as well have the Stallions batting order up here for the post-game interview.
I mean, you got Pedersen, who's singled 3 times and scored 3 runs. Gonzalez has a home run. Taft has some RBIs. Kelder, who we interviewed last night, has hit some rockets. Mark Meyer's been fantastic on the mound. There's definitely some worthy candidates. Sam Maruso, 3 RBI tonight in his first game back from an injury. So it'll be a tough one to figure out.
Definitely a lot of candidates.
As Pedersen smacks that one to Sockwell at short, who fields and throws to first to win the inning. And the Stallions are retired in order for the first time tonight. Actually retired for the first time without scoring a run. As we head to the top of the 7th inning, the Stallions lead 10-2.
Yeah, good job there by Grabeck coming in. And the first time the Stallions haven't scored an inning, Grabeck with a 1-2-3 makes it look easy. And as we head to the top of the 7th inning, it's a great time to remind you that if you're a business owner, as our good friend Curtis Jorgensen loves to say, own a business, because I don't think he really understands the concept of a business owner. Sponsorships with the Stallions are a great way to get your name out there. There are signs you can put up here at Cantine Field in Saugerties, and you can get some sponsorships on the broadcast, as well as sponsorships that our PA announcer Rob Vanderbeck will announce in stadium. So for more information, visit SaugertiesStallions.com, and you can see how to sponsor there and who to contact. You can also just comment on this video. We'll find you if you want to be sought after. As it looks like Mark Meyer's night will be done. On the night in for him will be Gavin Hellman.
It's actually not Gavin. It's new pitcher Anthony Pacifico from Herkimer County Community College. I believe this is Pacifico's second game with the team, and it'll be his first appearance. And he will face the bottom of the order for the Dutchman, Sockwell, Villa, and Durfee. As Mark Meyer was absolutely fantastic tonight. As I will pull up the final line on him. He was 6 innings, only allowed 4 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 2 runs. An absolutely dominant night for Mark Meyer. And that's something you absolutely love to see from your starting pitching, especially when you give them 10 runs to work with.
Oh yeah, and Meyer came in his 9 2/3 innings before tonight. He had walked 7, only struck out 6, and he had 8 earned runs. That was a 7.44 ERA. He lowered that drastically tonight in his 6 innings of work. Also only walked 1 guy, well, picking up those 7 strikeouts. I mean, just an absolutely terrific night from Meyer. And a big game, a game where the Stallions, if they're able to hold their 8-run lead in these last 3 innings, they'll come within a half game of the Dutchman for 3rd place in the East, only behind Mohawk Valley and Amsterdam, who are riding 6-game and 10-game win streaks respectively. Both teams have been red hot so far. Can't wait for them to play each other, so one of them has to lose.
And it'll be actually Nick Estrella instead of Peyton Sockwell.
Sockwell only gets a half inning in the field and then is pulled for Estrella.
He got to make 2 plays in the field and called it a night for him. So it'll be Pacifico's first appearance against Nick Estrella.
Estrella, 5'11", righty from Tucson, Arizona, coming from Azusa Pacific. So far on the year, Estrella is batting .278. Actually has the 2nd most at-bats on the Dutchman, an everyday starter for Albany.
Also has a home run and 12 RBI.
Yeah, that's a team high for the shortstop. Also 11 walks and only 12 strikeouts in his 54 at-bats. So a good year so far for Estrella.
As Pacifico deals. And the pitch is low, 2-0. The 10-2 lead, I'm sure Coach Tom Whitaker and pitching coach Stephen Frere, 2 longtime pitchers, will told Pacifico just throw strikes.
Yeah,
at
Pacifico.
This point.
No stats so far this year for the Stallions, coming in for Austin Batchelor, who was from BC and had a couple tough outings and then is done for the summer.
But he's behind the count 3-0 now to Estrella. And swinging 3-0, that one's tattooed into center field for a base hit. Campana will field that one as Estrella's on with a leadoff single.
And down 8 runs in a 3-0 count, but he was given the green light by the Dutchman third baseman, and it was a great move. He absolutely stroked that one right back up the middle for the single.
And that'll bring up the catcher Chris Villa, who's 0 for 2 tonight. So Pacifico will now work from the stretch. And ground ball, and that's through the hole on the left side for a base hit. As Estrella will only move to second, but Villa aggressive swinging first pitch. And now it's 1st and 2nd and nobody out for the Dutchman.
Yeah, another good piece of hitting after Pacifico came in and threw 3 straight balls. He's just been trying to get the fastballs in there, and good job by Villa. Put it right in between Kelder and Pedersen, and Estrella took a big round of second, but really no reason to try and run on Jack Gonzalez when you're down 8 runs, just trying to go station to station.
So it'll be Zach Durfee who struck out looking his last at-bat. And that one just misses. As that one is skied to shallow center field, going back Pedersen, coming in Campana. Campana will make the catch. It's a tough play right there, as that one's kind of that in-between fly ball.
Yeah, I actually was thinking the infield fly might be called out there by Frank McKellar, but good job not calling it. It drifted farther than I thought and ended up being caught by center fielder Nick Campana, so good decision to hold off on that one.
As that'll now bring up leadoff hitter Brant Knighting. As Pacifico deals up and away.
Estrella dancing off second, kind of hinting that he's going to try and take third. But down 8 runs, it's not the time to attempt a steal. Even though the Dutchmen are first in the league with 50 steals, Estrella a big part of it. He's 7 for 8 on the year.
And that one missing low, 2-0.
Pacifico really just has to throw strikes, even though the first 4 hitters of the Dutchmen are very dangerous. Stallions defense has been great tonight.
Yeah, and you're up 10-2. This is not the time where you really got to start, trying to pick the corner too much, as that one's a strike.
Yeah, Stallions only with 1 error on the night, and that one debatable. It was the ground ball up the middle. Luke Pedersen made a tremendous play to get there, and then
it was ruled that Taft came off the bag.
Yeah, Gallo was called out first, and then the umpires convened and overturned their call.
And that one not missing by much, but the count now 3-1. And it looks like Albany's got a pinch hitter on deck. Actually, looks like Peyton Sockwell is the pinch hitter, so he actually didn't come in for Skidmore. And that one's low, ball 4.
I think what it is Sockwell came in for Gallo, who's now out of the game. And Sockwell, instead of going into second, went to short, and Estrella is playing second base instead. So a little swap of positions, as the middle infielders have both been pulled for the Dutchmen. They have combined for the 5 errors so far tonight for Albany.
Gallo also had a rough night at the plate, striking out twice. And now it's bases loaded and 1 out for the Dutchman. And there's a strike.
Sockwell coming in for Gallo makes a lot more sense than him coming in for half an inning just for Skidmore. Suddenly everything is explained.
Sometimes we don't necessarily get the changes up here. We got to try to figure it out ourselves, so it can get kind of chaotic. Nice block there by Russo. Count 1-1.
You say it over and over again, but Russo and Powell, both brick walls behind home plate. It's great for your pitchers because you have confidence that you can try and throw something nasty in the dirt and go for a chase. You don't have to be worried about the ball going to the backstop.
And the 1-1 from Pacifico. That one just missing. Crowd wanted that one. And the count 2-1. On deck, Justin Childers, who took over for Brant Holland at first base. And the 2-1. Not missing again by much. Pacifico looks like he's right there, but not missing by much. And the count now 3-1. You got to throw a strike here to Sockwell. Stallions leading 10-2, trying to keep this lead to 8. And 3-1, low ball 4, and Sockwell works a walk, and that'll score a run. The score is at 10-3.
Yeah, that's exactly what you don't want to do here when you have an 8-run lead. You just have to throw strikes. It is Pacifico's first outing of the year for the Stallions. But there is action in the bullpen. Ian Schuer just got up out there, and he'll be throwing behind the Dallas Hot Wieners sign. As walking in runs and walking the bases loaded is exactly what Albany wants. They're just trying to go station for station, and as a pitcher, you don't want to be giving them that opportunity. You got to make them earn it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what pitching coach Steve Freer is coming out to talk to him about right now, just to calm him down and say, hey, just throw strikes. You know, you got a 7-run lead, and bases are still loaded with 1 out, but if you're not throwing strikes, you can't get outs.
And not a super powerful hitter here so far this year, at least, in Justin Childers at the plate. Childers came in for Holland, and Holland is one of the best in the PGCBL. Childers, as I talked to the Dutchman broadcaster, Tyler, before the game, he's more of a defensive specialist, he was saying. Childers comes in hitting 129. He struck out in his only at-bat so far tonight. So this is a guy you really want to go after, especially when you have Trace Tyre on deck, who's another one of the best hitters in the league.
And that one just missing low. A lot of these pitchers are right there from Pacifico. Like I said, he's not missing by much, but sometimes you just try to get too cute. As the Dutchman trying to get back in this game down 7, and that one is skied to left, as he just got under it a bit too much, as Jack Gonzalez will make the catch, and as the throw comes into third, tagging and scoring is Chris Villa, as the Dutchmen have cut the lead to 10-4.
Good job there by Justin Childers. He put a drive into it. It was extremely high. If it was more straightened out, it would have been a bomb to left field, but plenty deep to get in Villa, as Gonzalez made the right play and threw it into third base.
Yeah, there's really no way to get him at home. Not actually sure of the arm on Gonzalez, because he's only played in the outfield for 2 games now. Mostly been a first baseman all year. As that one's fouled off by Trace Tyre, heading over our heads. What a good job by Gonzalez, like Biko said, throwing into third base, keeping the runner at second. Some heads-up baseball there, as the Dutchmen still trying to claw their way back in here now that they trail by 6. On deck is third baseman Chase Allen. And Pacifico step off.
Tyre, 11 RBIs on the year, only 1 behind Estrella for the team lead. As I mentioned when he was on deck, he's the best hitter on the team as well, coming in hitting .365, which is 5th in the league.
And there's a strike at the knees. And the count 0-2. Tyre roped a base hit his last at-bat right through the hole on the right side, as Pacifico looks to stop the bleeding. And the 0-2 from Anthony Pacifico. Breaking ball low. Good idea, though. There's not really much you can do there if you're tired. That ball broke and was well below the knees by the time it got to the plate, so either you roll over and hit a weak ground ball or you swing over the top of it.
Yeah, it's a great 0-2 pitch from Pacifico.
Let's see what he brings here now at the 1-2. Fastball low.
Durfee on second base with tremendous speed, so a base hit with him running on contact should get in. He's 9 for 11 on the year in stolen bases, along with Gallo, tied for 5th in the league.
And now the 2-2. Runners go. That one's slapped in the air to center field. Coming on is Nick Campana, who will make the catch to win the inning. as Pacifico was able to work in and out of trouble. He gives up 2 runs, though, but the Stallions still lead by a score of 10-4.
Hey, good job from Pacifico after, getting himself into some trouble. It's his first outing of the year. He's able to work out of it, getting 2 fly balls. One of those, the sac fly ball for Childers, and the other, the fly ball to get out of the inning, as Kate Smith will sing God Bless America.
And of course, we have to follow that with our new tradition. Please join our owner.
Michael McGuire comments, time to stretch, as it is the 7th inning stretch here. Stallions with a 10-4 lead. Albany just struck for 2 more runs. They scored 2 in the 2nd, now 2 in the top of the 7th. The Stallions have scored every inning except for the 6th. 1 run, 3 runs, 2 runs, 3 runs. And then Graybick came in and got a 1-2-3 inning and was able to stop all that. He'll have a high task here in the bottom of the 7th with 3, 4, 5, Feinstein, Gonzalez, and Taft, all of whom have been hitting great all year and great tonight. We'll get to some more comments tonight, as one of these comments will be the winner of the Stallion shorts. Mike Evans says, Northern Kentucky representing Mark Meyer and the Stallions. He actually said Northern KY, but Eric Schuer, I'm sure you'll notice that I knew the abbreviation. Larry Swart been commenting a lot tonight, saying control and talking a lot about how the Stallions have been doing great this year. Casey Meyer says, watching little brother Mark Meyer from Orlando, Florida. Go Stallions. Great to see that you get to watch Mark Meyer. Also a great night to watch the Stallion starters. He was terrific. Eric Schuer says, Gonzo time, when Jack Gonzalez hit the solo home run, as Graybeck's ready to deal to Matt Feinstein here to start off the bottom of the 7th.
There's a strike to Feinstein. Feinstein had a 2-run single in his last at-bat to make it at the time a 9-2 ball game, score now 10-4 Stallions. As that one's outside. Last inning, the 6th inning, was the first time the Stallions did not plate a run as they went down in order.
Yeah, Graybeck was able to get Russo, Campana, and Pedersen, 3 guys who have been swinging the bat very well tonight.
It'll be Feinstein, Gonzalez, and Taft. 3 very dangerous hitters for the Stallions to hit in this inning. And it'll be a 2-1 from Graybeck. Way upstairs, count now 3-1 to Feinstein. Sound like a broken record. Feinstein off to a tremendous start this season for the Stallions. 3-1s upstairs, ball 4.
Yeah, that's his 20th walk of the year. He now has sole possession of 2nd place in the PGCBL, only trailing Christ Conley of the Jamestown Jammers.
And it looks like Justin Dunikowski is taken over for Andrew Taft on deck, as the first pitch to Gonzalez is low.
Dunikowski, one of the new additions to the Stallions, coming from Wallkill, just off his senior season there.
I believe he's actually a teammate at Herkimer County Community College with Pacifico. As we get into the later innings, the Stallions leading by 6. Wonder if Tom Whitaker will start going to his bench a little bit here. As Gonzalez takes that one high. He holds up the count 2-1.
With that walk to Feinstein, as we talk about how great he's been doing all year, the stat that people don't look a whole lot at in the PGCBL is on-base percentage. He's actually got a .519 on-base percentage.
And that was coming into tonight, and he's reached base 4 times tonight.
Doesn't stop. That's second in the league, once again only behind Christ Conley, who has an unheard of .598 on-base percentage.
He's also batting .397 as a catcher for the Jamestown Jammers.
Yeah, Jamestown has been tearing up the west side of the PGCBL.
As that one's low.
They've got a lot of stars. When you look at the stats for the league, you always see a Jamestown Jammer up there. They're 17-5. That's the best record in the league, and they have a 1.5 game lead over the Geneva Red Wings.
I believe that's also who the Stallions lost to on the opening night of the PGCBL. He lost a tough one. I think it was 5-4 in extra innings.
It was.
And the 3-2 to Gonzalez as he slaps that one to second. It's going to be flipped to short on the first. Double play. And that'll be a 4-6-3 double play for Gonzalez. Second time he's ground into a double play tonight.
Yeah, second double play. 2 new middle infielders this time. Last time it was Skidmore who took it himself, but this time it was a great turn between Estrella and Sockwell. Sockwell was kind of surprised Estrella flipped it to him. The second baseman was so close to the bag, but Sockwell was able to handle and throw on to first just in time to get Gonzalez, as it was bang-bang over there, but he was out by half a step.
And that'll bring up Justin Dunikowski out of Herkimer County Community College.
Yeah, he was part of a very successful Wallkill team this past year.
And the pitch upstairs.
Looking to attend Herkimer in the fall, a very successful community college team.
There's a strike. Barring any other changes, Dunikowski will probably take over in left field, and Jack Gonzalez will shift over to first base, his usual position for the Stallions. As that one's upstairs, 2-1. It's always good when you have multiple guys who can play multiple positions instead of, having guys who have a team of all first basemen. You might hit well, but your fielding is going to be lacking. Count now 2-2 to Dunikowski.
Great breaking ball there. He's one pitch away from facing the minimum in his 2 innings of work.
And the 2-2 breaking ball called strike 3. Another good breaking ball there by Jack Grayback, who's faced the minimum through 2 and has really been the only Albany pitcher the Stallions are unable to figure out tonight.
Yeah, and tough start to the year for Dunikowski. It's very early for him. He's only had 5 at-bats, but 4 strikeouts in his 5 at-bats as Tom Whitaker is chatting with Andrew Taft out on third base, but the two of them are laughing. As Taft looks like he's going to take a walk out to the bullpen and hang out with the fellas out there, as Ian Schur will come in to take over for Pacifico here in the top of the 8th inning, coming in with a 10-4 lead. Schur, the 6'2 lefty from Lincroft, New Jersey, and out of Manhattan College. One of the couple of guys who Matt Jones was able to recruit to come join him. Matt Jones, the only returning guy for the Stallions from Manhattan College, was able to get Schur as well as Nick Massa.
Along with Matt Forlow, who told me he should be back after the weekend after only playing the first 3 games and then injuring his hand has been out ever since. Stallions almost also had another Manhattan guy. I know Mike Fenninger really wanted to join the team but was told to. Unfortunately, he was told he had to go do an internship this summer instead of coming to Saugerties to play ball.
Had to go out into the real world instead of playing one more year of baseball. It's tough for Manhattan, Mike.
Was one of the more successful hitters last year playing first base.
Yeah, he was the 3-hitter all year long, basically. An RBI leader on the team. Schuer coming into the game, 7 in the 3rd inning so far. Has given up 7 hits and 7 runs, all those earned. 11 walks and 4 strikeouts so far for Ian, and he does not have a record yet, only 2 doubles and a triple given up on the air, so just like Mark Meyer, who came in with, not the best stats in the PGCBL so far, great opportunity to lower those with a couple great innings of work here tonight for Schuer.
Yeah, Schuer coming in here in the 8th inning, wonder if he's in for just an inning, get some work with a 6-run lead, or Tom Witt's going to let him close out the game.
And Schuer's got great stuff. I've actually watched him throw a couple bullpens, and the only problem he's had here in the PGCBL is those 11 walks in his 7 and a 3rd inning. So as long as he's in the zone, he's a very tough hitter a very tough pitcher to hit. And we'll get back into some more comments as Schuer finishes his warm-ups and Russo will throw down to second.
As it looks like we have a pinch hitter here. It's going to be number 23, Justin Decker, out of Dominican, who will be hitting for Chase Allen.
Decker so far on the year, batting .239 in his 46 at-bats. Has scored 7 runs and driven in 7 as well. 3 walks and only 6 strikeouts so far.
And Jack Gonzalez is now taken over for Andrew Taft at first base, and Dunikowski goes to left. It'll be Decker, Herrera, and Estrella. Schuer's first pitch is outside.
It's 5, 6, 7 here, although 2 of the guys are substitutions, so not the original 5, 6, 7 for Albany.
Al on the night was 0 for 2, walked and scored back in the 2nd inning, also struck out. And that one doesn't look like it missed by much either in the count 2-0. And the 2-0. And outside, 3-0. Like Bika was just saying, Schuer does have good stuff, just having some troubles finding the plate. A couple of the innings he's come in and just gets himself into jams.
Luckily, he does have a good 6-run lead to find his stuff here tonight.
As that one's high, ball 4, and a 4-pitch walk to Justin Decker, the pinch hitter. That'll bring up Griffin Herrera.
There is still action in the Stallions bullpen. A few guys warming up, doing arm circles and stretching out behind the Dallas Hot Wiener sign there.
And there's a strike.
One very impressive thing tonight for the Stallions, their 15 hits and 10 runs. This Albany pitching staff was holding hitters to only a .235 batting average, and the lowest amount of runs in the league, as I mentioned earlier, only 79. Coming into the game, Pepillo hadn't even allowed a base runner in 6 1/3, but Stallions have blown those numbers up tonight.
And the 1-1 way upstairs as Russo's going to throw down and check on Decker, but he's back in plenty of time. The count now 2-1.
Decker does run 4 for 7 on the year in stolen base attempts. Another one of the contributors to Albany leading the league with 50 steals so far on the PGCBL.
Nick Estrella on deck. And there's a strike. The count now 2-2.
Good spot there around the outside corner. Herrera did not agree. Griffin's been hitting the heck out of the ball tonight. As Tom mentioned, the double and then a rip to Pedersen at short as well.
Yeah, that one's outside 3-2. Herrera struck out his last at bat to end the 6th inning, was the final batter of the inning for Mark Meyer. Sure comes set, and the 3-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3. Herrera just couldn't check his swing enough, and he's down on strikes.
That's the great stuff from Schuer getting that one. I mean, a 3-2 pitch, and there's so much movement even on his fastballs as he's often throwing those two-seamers. That one in the dirt, but was able to get Herrera to at least come around and not be able to hold up the swing. It's a big out for Schuer. Big difference between first and second, nobody out, and man on first and 1 out. Tom Mann says, "Hey, Biko." Hey, right back at you, Tom Mann.
As that one misses to Estrella for a ball, 1-0. At the start of the second page, the Biko Scala fan club on the broadcasts, as it seems like Biko Scala gets more shout-outs at night than any of the players do.
Oh, man. When Austin Powell's in the game, Tom, that's when all the shout-outs really come.
That one swung on and missed by Estrella, 1-1.
Austin Powell, the star of Star City, Arkansas, really, he has a tremendous support group. All the fans from Arkansas always cheering him on.
So the count 1-1 to Estrella, wearing number 11 with 1 out and 1 on. One's all the way across the board here at Cantine Field, as that one stroked into right field for a base hit. Nice inside out swing for Estrella as Decker will move up to second.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there. Didn't try and do too much. Got a fastball over the plate and just hit it where it came in. Took it to right field. No chance at second for LaGravenese. It's another one. A couple feet more towards center field. It would have been a tailor-made double play, but baseball is a game of inches.
So it'll be Chris Villa, the catcher who singled and scored last inning in the 7th. And that one misses.
Tom Mann comments, "I am Tom," with a laughing face. Tom, you know, I really should have figured that out when it said you'd studied at Baptist Louis Ming Choi Secondary School. Don't know many people who study in Hong Kong.
As that one misses high, and Tom, we thank you for watching, and all the way from Hong Kong, and
we miss you in Saugerties.
Did a tremendous job playing the saxophone. It was always a fan favorite here, and you're always going to be welcomed by the Stallions. As that one, big healthy cut by Villa, swung on and missed. Center fielder Zach Durfee on deck for the Dutchman. I believe it actually looks like a pinch hitter. Can't see the number, though. As Villa swings and misses at strike 2. As Schuer has worked the count even.
Villa wasn't sure if he had swung at a strike there. Turned around and asked Dustin Ragsdale, but Ragsdale said, "Yeah, you were right to swing at that one." No one holding on Decker at second or Estrella at first.
As that one's high, and the count now full at 3-2. Same story as last inning. Just throw strikes here if you're the Stallions. You got a 6-run lead, and, you know, make Albany get the hits. You don't want to walk in the runs and give them any sort of life. As Schuer deals the 3-2 outside, ball 4. And now the bases are loaded with Dutchman.
Yeah, it's tough out there for Ian Schuer, as he'll get a visit from pitching coach Steve Freer. He's not trying to walk people, and he's visibly extremely frustrated. He was so mad at himself after that 3-2 fastball outside. And you know, 2 walks and a single has him with the bases loaded, and the Stallions have 2 guys up in the Dallas Hot Wieners bullpen, but Steve Furr out there just trying to cheer him up, get his head back in the game, try and bear down and go after Durfee, or the pinch hitter if it is a pinch hitter for Durfee.
And it looks like it's going to be Adam Elliott out of Louisville, Kentucky, as he attends the University of Louisville, one of the premier programs in college baseball.
Yeah, it's an ACC powerhouse.
Powerhouse in a lot of different sports, basketball and football as well. I know they spend much of the season as the #1 ranked team in the nation for college baseball. Actually, he's one of several Louisville teammates to come play for the Albany Dutchman.
Elliott just joining the team, so this is actually his first at-bat of the season.
And sure deals a strike. Wonder if there's any stats on Elliott in his collegiate season for the Louisville Cardinals. And the 0-1, nice stop there by Russo, 1-1. As Biko works on our computer here to pull up some stats on Adam Elliott. Fouled straight back into the screen. The count now 1-2.
Fortunately, when I went after Elliott, I went to Bing instead of Google. That's always a huge mistake.
Sure comes set, and the 1-2. Low, another nice stop there by Russo. Russo having a tremendous game tonight. As that ball is ripped right at Gonzalez, who throws to second. As the runner on second, Estrella, just able to get back in time. Elliott couldn't have hit that ball any harder, but he rips it right at Jack Gonzalez, and there's now 2 away.
Yeah, Elliott absolutely tattooed that one. He actually did not get any at-bats this past year with Louisville.
And that'll bring up Brad Knighting, the right fielder for the Dutchman. With the bases loaded and 2 out, of Shore looks to work out of a jam as he hits him. So Knighting does his job and drives in the run on the hit by pitch, and the score is now 10-5 Stallions.
Yeah, Schuer just trying to go inside. Well, actually, Russo was setting up outside, and then it just ran out of his hands and caught him on the elbow. Sure, extremely frustrated out there, but he'll now have to deal with Peyton Sockwell, who came in for Gallo earlier in the game at second base, then moved over to short.
And there's a strike as Dutchman have very quietly made it a ball game, scoring 3 runs the last 2 innings off the Stallion bullpen. It's now 10-5, and hit here by Sockwell makes it a much closer ball game than Coach Tom Whitaker probably would have liked to an inning ago, as they throw down to first just to keep him close, as Jack Gonzalez was actually not even really near the bag.
Yeah, Jack Gonzalez was playing behind Knighting. Knighting is second in the PGCBL with his 10 steals, but with the bases loaded and still down by 5 runs, just trying to keep his secondary and his lead in check here is Russo.
And Russo, another great stop, keeping the ball in front of him.
I mean, you can only say it so much, but he's been perfect tonight. He hasn't let one ball behind him so far. And him and Austin Powell both have been doing tremendous jobs behind the plate. It's real luxury for Stallions pitchers to be able to throw the ball in the dirt anytime they like, and they know it's not going anywhere.
You know, usually you see, at least in the book, 2 or 3 wild pitches to allow runners to advance, but Russo hasn't allowed anything. Is once again another stop on the dirt. They count 3-1.
Yeah, sure, really struggling here. I'm sure if he can't get the ball over the plate to Sockwell, then Whitaker will go to the bullpen as he's getting the sign from the bullpen that everyone's ready out there.
And there's a strike. And now they count full at 3-2. That should at least release the runners, though, for Albany. Sockwell looks to do some damage here, as the Dutchman still trying to claw back into this one as they trail 10-5. And the 3-2 from Schuer is fouled off.
Good job by Schuer bearing down and going right after Sockwell. Also good job by Sockwell to spoil that one.
If you're Schuer here, just throw a strike, make him put the ball in play. Don't try to do anything too fancy.
The Dutchman shortstop does have 5 RBIs on the year.
And was walk with the bases loaded his last at bat, and that ball is outside, ball 4. So Peyton Sockwell in 2 at bats has 2 RBIs without putting the ball in play. And that'll induce the long walk out to the mound for Coach Tom Whitaker.
Yeah, tough outing for Schuer, who just couldn't find the zone again. And the tying run is actually coming up to the plate now in Justin Childers, who came in for Brant Holland.
As it looks like it's going to be Jeff Hayner coming into pitch.
Now taking the mound, that's number 32 from Niagara University, Jeff Hayner.
Hayner, one of the 3 incoming freshmen on the Stallions, all playing for the Kingston Tigers team that made the state Final Four in high school.
Yeah, Hayner, Avery Short, and Tyler Kelder. Avery Short and Tyler Kelder have had tremendous success so far for the Stallions. Avery has thrown 21 innings, has a 1.71 ERA, started the year with 18 scoreless, and still pitched great just a couple nights ago.
Actually, last night.
Yeah, that's right. Just last night, Avery pitched great against Glens Falls through 5 innings where he had to battle. And Hayner so far looking to get settled in. He's only thrown 2 2/3 innings. He's a hard-throwing lefty with a real funky rotation. He has a 16.87 ERA, but that's just a factor of him throwing 2 2/3 innings and giving up 5 earned runs, 7 runs in total. He's walked 3 and struck out 1. He does not have a record on the year, though. He's given up 1 double and 1 triple, so Hayner coming in to try and get Childers and get the Stallions out of a big jam. This game that once seemed well out of reach with the Stallions with an 8-run lead, only 6 innings in, and all of a sudden the tying runs at home plate, Justin Childers. Childers actually has a home run this year. Well, he's hit a home run, but unfortunately for him it was canceled because it was a rain-shortened game, and it got canceled. The game ended before the 5th inning, and his home run was no longer in the books.
Oh, that's a rough one.
That's a really rough one.
This actually now, if Hayner's able to finish the ball game, becomes a safe situation for him.
Yeah, Hayner with no wins, no losses, and no saves on the season. Would love to pick that one up. He's attending Niagara University in the fall. All 3 of them, Hayner, Short, and Kelder, going to D1 schools. Niagara, St. Bonaventure for Kelder, and Siena for Avery Short.
Find success here with the Stallions and find more success in the collegiate career. They're still young enough. Hopefully they can actually become mainstays with the Stallions as the local guys, and as they progress in college baseball.
Hayner's going to work from the windup here with the bases juiced against Childers.
Childers in his second line and RBI his first at bat as he came in from Brant Holland.
There's still action in the Stallions bullpen.
This is his 3rd plate appearance. He also struck out his first time up. And that one inside. Trace Tyre, the designated hitter, one of the most dangerous hitters in the entire PGCBL, on deck for the Dutchman. As I'm sure head coach Nick Davey would love to have him up in this situation. Coming to foul off. Breaking ball there by Hayner.
Big pitch here. You want to go 2-2 and not 3-1. 3-1, not only a hitter's count, but one pitch away from walking in another run for the Dutchman.
So this is different for Hayner, usually a starter at Kingston High School. As that ball was roped into the left center field gap, that one's going to get down and split the outfield. Zenikowski's all the way. 1 run scores, 2 runs scores. We got punt at the plate. It's a bases clearing double. Justin Childers, and just like that, we have a ball game. The score is 10-9.
Yeah, that one out of nowhere, and Childers absolutely crushed it. A line drive all to the left center, all the way to the left center field wall. Just teed off on the 2-1 pitch. That's a huge double, very reminiscent of Tyler Kelder's last night. This one, though, instead of giving the team a 1-run lead, they just trail by 1 run. He is the tying run now at second with, as you mentioned, a very deadly hitter in Trace Tyre at the plate.
This one looked like the Stallions were in cruise control, leading 10-2, and Mark Meyer absolutely mowing down the Albany Dutchman, keeping them completely at bay, but 2 runs off Pacifico. All those runs in will be charged to Ian Schuer. Tying run at second. 5 in the inning for the Dutchman. And great stop there again by Russo. Count 1-1.
Yeah, that one a bounce, so it bounced in front of home plate, and Russo able to take it off the chest and keep Childers at second base. Stallions have still out-hit the Dutchman 15 hits to 8.
That one's going away too.
As
Decker on deck. Pinch hit for Chase Allen to start the inning with a walk.
yeah, the Dutchmen have batted around, and Stallions have also stranded the bases loaded a couple times. 15 hits and 5 errors.
Yeah, that one's foul off. The count now 2.
Tough matchup for the Dutchman lefty. Hayner with such a funky delivery to add on to that being lefty on lefty. He's got a great breaking ball. We'll see if Russo and Hayner decide it's the pitch to go to here when they really need a big out, tying run on second base, and Trace Tyre the go-ahead run at home.
Bottom half of the inning will be Kelder, Teeter, and Ravanese to hit for the Stallions as they look to add their lead again as that one's in the dirt. Russo hopefully jumping on that one on the count full of 3-2 to Tyres.
Yeah, they did go to the off-speed, but Tyre a tremendous hitter. Not fooled by the pitch that starts in the zone and ends outside it.
Tyre honestly wouldn't be the worst walk in the world. Here's a put the force back on with 2 outs. And 3-2, that's out by 4. And that'll bring up Justin Decker for the 2nd time in the inning.
Number 23, Justin Decker.
Yeah, Decker started this whole inning off with the 4-pitch walk from Ian Schuer. He comes in hitting .239. He does have 7 RBIs on the year already. And he's only struck out 6 times in his 46 at-bats.
Struggling to find the place tonight, walking 3 batters and hitting a batter on 1 base hit. That ball is hit high in the air to right center field. Heading over is Matt Feinstein to make the catch and then end the inning. But the damage is done. The Albany Dutchman come back with 5 runs. The 10-2 ball game is now a 10-9 lead for the Stallions.
And as it's a 10-9 game, we're heading to the bottom of the 8th. It's a good time to show you the shorts again that your comment could win tonight. We'll go back to the comments now as well.
So, want these shorts? Keep commenting all night. We'll be doing giveaways during every home game broadcast. If you haven't received any of the items, please tell us and let you guys know. Make sure you let them know. Make sure we get those items out to you.
And we'll head to the comments that could be the winner. Mike Scala, actually my Uncle Mike from Vermont, says he's excited to watch Matt Feinstein play at Dartmouth in the fall and spring. Good to see that you're going to follow him over at Dartmouth. Casey Meyer says this is just a hit parade as the Stallions were clobbering the ball, scored 8 runs in 3 innings between the 3rd and the 6th. Rory Bisignano says, go Stallions. So does Jacob Miller. Michael McGuire says, good job in the broadcast booth as usual. Thank you very much, Michael. Very kind words. As Larry Swart says, you great guys. Keep in school. Will do, Larry.
Flattery gets you nowhere when it comes to randomly picking the comment.
That's a great point, Tom. Random.
As much as we love it.
We do love it. All your kind words really mean a lot, and big thanks to everyone who's liked, shared, and commented on the broadcast as well.
Bring up the red-hot Tyler Kelder, who has absolutely scorched the ball in every plate appearance tonight. And going back to last game, had the big 3-run double to give the Stallions a temporary lead. They eventually won to 7.
Yeah, Kelder, although he's 4 for 5 in his last at-bats with 5 rips, more importantly to Coach DeFino, he's 5 for 5 in Qs.
He's always up there.
And Graybeck in his 3rd inning of work, he's been the only pitcher who's been able to keep the Stallions off the board. He's faced the minimum, only 6 batters, even though he did walk Feinstein. He was able to get him doubled up. Hey, Graybeck going after Kelder with breaking balls, which seems to be the way to attack him for the Dutchman, even though the last time they went after him with breaking balls, he did hit a line drive single down the left field line.
Yeah, Loneker got ahead in the count his last at-bat by getting him there. He's on the ground in the short. Fielded there by Sockwell, thrown on first. Now he's here in the 8th.
Yeah, 0-2 went with another off-speed. It was still up in the zone, and it was hit hard, as usual, by Tyler Kelder, but straight at Sockwell on the ground, and the shortstop for Albany had no trouble with it. Nick Teeter, the DH for the Stallions, stepping into the plate, one of the hometown guys who is coming off of 2 years at Hudson Valley Community College.
He takes a strike. Got that 0-2 to Teeter. On deck, Pat LaGravenese, the only Stallion not to reach tonight. They have 15 hits, but the score is 10-9. And that one's upstairs.
Teeter will be attending St. Rose in the fall, transferring after his 2 years at Hudson Valley.
And the 1-2 to Teeter, fouled straight back. Teeter was supposed to play for the Stallions last year before needing Tommy John surgery, which kept him out, but he has returned healthy and played quite well for the Stallions.
Yeah, tough break for Teeter, who's a tremendous pitcher. He threw a couple no-hitters for Hudson Valley before his Tommy John. He was unbelievable in high school.
That one's fouled straight back again. He's shown he can still do it with the bat, though.
And he's shown he can do it with the arm in the outfield. He's already thrown out a few runners this year. He was first team All-State our senior year for his pitching and hitting.
And the 1-2 swung on a miss, strike 3. As Villa will throw down, and there's 2 away. That'll be up to LaGravenese here in the 8th.
Yeah, it's that great breaking ball by Graybeck that's kept the Stallions hitters on their heels. It looks like it's coming in the zone and then dances right out of it. Graybeck, 1 batter away from facing the minimum in 3 innings of work, absolutely stifling a Stallions team that, when he had come into the game, had already scored 10 runs on 15 hits, and since then he's thrown 2 2/3 scoreless. Yeah,
he absolutely allowed the Dutchman to battle back, and with a couple of Stallions pitchers struggling to find the zone of the bullpen, they've been able to do exactly that. Not sure who's warming up in the bullpen for the Stallions. If I had to guess, it's probably Matt Pichard, who's been the team's closer. Came in, had a tough save last night, striking out a batter with second and third to end the ball game.
Yeah, we'll see if he made it out to the bullpen. I talked to Pichard. He said he felt good today, although he was in the dugout for a lot of the game and not even out there, so I'm not sure if he's available to throw.
Yeah, that one's in the dirt.
We'll see if...
Pichard seems to hang out a lot if he's not batting. You see him hanging out up here once in a while in the broadcast booth with us and just hanging around different angles. Yeah, that one's high.
Yeah, I know if Matt has it his way, he'll be out for the 9th trying to get the save in another tight game, 10-9 here, but he has to be allowed to go out there by Tom Whitaker and Steve Freer.
Yeah, not the type of night you expect after the first couple of innings to use your closer. As that curveball catches the zone in the count 2-2. Stallions would love to add an insurance run here. As Legravenese grounds it right to first base, right to Childers, and that'll end the inning. Great job out of the bullpen by Jack Graybeck to hold the Stallions to the minimum. As looks like it is going to be the big, tall right-hander Matt Pichard coming out of the bullpen for the Stallions. Pichard has done a fantastic job out of the pen as the team's closer, and has also contributed as well with the bat. Last night, Pichard came in an 8-7 ball game after Jack Gonzalez gave him the lead. Walked the leadoff guy, then he got moved over on a sac bunt and was able to strand him with 2 strikeouts with second and third and 1 out.
And as Matt Pichard will take his warm-up pitches, we have our winner tonight for the Stallion shorts. There's a man who's commented a few times, so he played some good odds. Larry Swart, your Stallion, or your comment was, Stallions aren't horsing around. I mean, can't beat that.
Yeah, you really can't beat anything that's
that's another good random comment, and some of them have been weird, some of them have been clever. That one was a good one by Larry Swart. So, Larry, I know you're a Saugerties native. I'm sure we don't have to send that one anywhere. You can come grab it here, but if you want it mailed to you just for pomp and circumstance, we'll mail it out to you. Tom says, let's get these 3 outs and end the game. It's bedtime. I'm not sure what the time is over in Hong Kong, but I'm sure it's a completely different time of day than here in Saugerties, New York.
Yeah, several hours worth of difference.
Larry Swart says thank you, Larry, the lucky winner tonight. Tom says that should be mine. Yeah, it's going to cost us 10 times as much as it costs to make it to send it to Hong Kong, Tom.
Oh, we'll have to
hold it on reserve here.
We'll have to talk to Kevin about that one for you.
Maybe we just have to send you one for good measure. Pichard looks about ready to finish up his warm-up pitches. As Tom was saying while I was getting that comment from Doug, Matt Pichard's been phenomenal this year. 8 1/3 innings pitched, only 2 runs on 7 hits. He's walked 5 and struck out 10. He's 1-0 on the season with 3 saves. He's 3 for 3 in save attempts. He's only given up 1 extra base hit. He's been really lights out, the hard thrower from Brewer, Maine, and the University of Maine.
As Tom is saying, it's a 12-hour difference. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We're all getting ready to go to bed.
John Campana says Friday, 10:22 a.m. in Hong Kong. That's something else. Thank you for that, John. Thank you for that, Tom. It's bedtime. It's not bedtime, Tom. It's 10:22 in the morning. You've got a whole day ahead of you.
As the hometown crowd trying to get behind Pichard, who will face Herrera, Estrella, and Villa. For the Dutchman, as Pichard misses just low.
6, 7, 8 here for the Dutchman. 2 starters and 1 substitution. That one just missed Andrew Taft out on the line as close as he can get to the field.
As that one's popped up into shallow center field, Going back is Pedersen to make the catch, and there's one away here in the ninth.
Yeah, Bouchard getting the job done. 2 pitches, 1 out. He spends a lot of time in the booth with us. He's a great guy. When I asked him what his favorite TV show, he told me it's Wicked Tuna. I not only had never heard of it, but was surprised it was a fishing show. That's what you get when you're from Brewer, Maine, I'd say.
Yeah, Matt's done it all for the Stallions, playing first base, DH, and closing games. You can't ask much more from him. Well, it's been a very versatile team. As that one, hard fastball, looks like he put a little something extra on that one.
Yeah, Bouchard, a very hard throwing guy. I mean, he's a menacing man on the mound to start out, standing up there at 6'4".
And breaking ball bounces 1-1.
And he really uses every inch of his body, and he's up there. He's got to be in the low 90s coming in. Then he drops in that breaking ball, with it, which is a big change in speed.
And the 1-1 from Bouchard, breaking ball outside, 2-1.
Tom said those are probably made in China, which would mean it's shipped here and then shipped back to you. But they're actually made in Saugerties, New York by Dean Myers. Sorry to disappoint you, Tom.
And the 2-1. There's a fastball on the inside corner, and they count 2-2. Estrella entered the game in the 6th inning as a defensive substitution. Took over for Nick Gallo in the field, and John Skidmore at the plates. 2 for 2. And come around to score both times as the Dutchmen have clawed back after they trailed 10-2. And the 2-2 fouled straight back. As they swap baseballs.
Stallions trying to come within a half game of these Albany Dutchmen, the 13th ranked team in the country.
As Bouchard comes set, and the 2-2 breaking ball. Good job by Estrella, who looked ready to hack and kind of had to check himself up there.
Yeah, great at-bat from Estrella, not going down easily. He's really battling in there. Fouling off a litany of pitches here from Bouchard.
And the 2-2, swung on a miss, strike 3. High fastball, got Estrella just too high to put any contact on the ball.
That's a great pitch following up that breaking ball. Both of them start at the same spot, but Bouchard with that tough speed right in his eyes. Very tough pitch for Estrella to lay off of.
So it'll all be up to Chris Villa, the catcher, who's 1 for 3 on the night and come around to score twice. Also walked in the 8th inning. Has helped the Dutchman climb back into this game as he launches that one into deep left center field. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Chris Villa with a long home run, and we are tied at 10.
Wow, that was a no-doubter right off the bat. Villa absolutely destroyed that one. That's his first home run of the year and his first RBI on the year to add that. And that's a heck of an RBI. He has at least sent this game into extra innings, or at least sent the game to the bottom of the 9th, that is.
And who would have guessed it back in the 5th inning that we would be talking about this? It was 10-2 Stallions and Mark Meyer in absolute cruise control, and suddenly now we're tied at 10.
Yeah, not a bad pitch from Bouchard either. A hard fastball at the knees. Just tremendous piece of hitting there by Villa. And he absolutely crushed that one, probably about 380 feet to deep left center over the Jim Halwick seamless gutter sign.
An absolute moonshot. And there's a breaking ball to Adam Elliott for a strike. Elliott was up last inning as a pinch hitter. Absolutely hit a frozen rope, but right at Jack Gonzalez with the bases loaded. As that one's low. So it'll be Bouchard's first blown save of the season.
Yeah, he was 3 for 3 so far. Tough one on that one. Came in with a 1-run lead and just a great piece of hitting there by Villa to spoil this one.
And that one's fouled off, and the count now 1-2.
And that one's straight over our heads here in the press box. Bouchard trying to at least get out of this inning and send it to the bottom of the ninth. If the Stallions are going to win now, it's going to be a walk-off, which adds some excitement to what was once a 10-2 game.
There's that one way inside, 2-2. It'll be Russo, Campana, and Pedersen in the bottom half of the ninth for the Stallions. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if Russo gets on as a catcher. Head coach Tom Whitaker might try to put someone a little bit faster. As Bouchard deals the 2-2 up and away, and the count now full at 3-2.
Yeah, the Stallions do have Austin Powell on the bench who can come in and catch for Russo should he be pinch run for. Powell's been fantastic as well.
And the 3-2, low ball 4. So Elliott works a tough walk. As he turns it over the top of the order, it'll be Brant Knighting. Hopefully the Stallions can walk off in the bottom half of the inning, as I have run out of room in my scorebook here.
You'll have to flip to another game to keep this one going.
Knighting was hit by a pitch in the 8th inning to draw in a run, as he foul tips that one 0-1.
This is Elliott's first game of the year and his first game at first base, so naturally he has not tried to steal a base yet in the PGCBL. But the Dutchman, 50 stolen bases on the year, top in the league. This would be a good time to send him. Leadoff man at the plate if he gets thrown out. Still have 1, 2, 3 in the 10th.
And that one's slice foul, third base side. Tyler Keller's going to give it a run as he overruns it and can't make the play. Kelder could have had that one, but just overran it a little bit. Quite a bit of room here in Cantine Field along the lines.
Yeah, it looked like he thought it was much closer to the fence, and he was full sprint, just trying to be able to make a play, and overran it. He was very close to it. Tough play, though, with the pop fly. We've seen many people from opposing teams lose it in the lights. That could have been a factor there for Kelder.
And it'll be an 0-2, though, to Knighting. And that one's outside. On deck is Peyton Sockwell, who had a walk his last at-bat and an RBI. He's actually 0 for 0 with 2 walks with 2 RBIs with the bases loaded tonight. And also came in to replace John Skidmore defensively and has been solid at short for this Dutchman. As Bouchard deals the 1-2. Called strike 3 to end the inning. So Bouchard's able to get out of it, but the Dutchmen do the damage as they've climbed back from a 10-2 deficit, as we now head to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 10.
Yeah, this would be a crushing defeat for the Stallions, up 8 runs, 5 innings into the game, and now all of a sudden it's 10-10 going into the bottom of the 9th inning. Stallions do not have a walk-off win yet this year. Last year they started off the season with a walk-off. We'll see what they can do here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
As it
will be a new pitcher in for Graybeck, who
it's going to be number 35, Matt Pierce.
Yeah, Jeff.
Schenectady, New York native, attending Siena College.
Jeff Graybeck should get just as much of the recognition for keeping this a game. He pitched 3 scoreless innings, faced the minimum of 9 batters. He was phenomenal out of the pen. The Guilderland native and lefty for Albany. And this is where Albany is very good, is their bullpen's tremendous. Their pitching staff has allowed, before this game, a league low 79 runs. And we'll see what the Stallions can do here in the bottom of the 9th.
If the Stallions win it tonight, it'll be in walk-off fashion. I know they had at least one walk-off win last year against Albany. Forget who the pitcher was. It was Troy Montemayor, the closer from Baylor, had a walk with the bases loaded to Adam Chase, and I remember Montemayor was not happy with that call last year. I think it was a 3-2 pitch on the inside corner. Thought it clipped the corner, but the umpire didn't think so, and the Stallions were able to walk off with a win against the Dutchman.
So the Stallions have 9-1-2 here. Nick Davies gone to one of his aces in Pierce. Pierce has thrown 17 1/3 already, only a 2.07 ERA, 16 hits, 6 runs, only 4 of those earned. He's only walked 4 and struck out 11. He's also 4-0 on the season.
That's got to be towards the top of the leaderboard in the PGCBL, as it'll be Sam Russo to lead it off as he takes high.
Matt, a fire thrower. Another one of the Sienna men from Albany.
And there's a strike. Russo 2 for 3 on the night with 3 RBI, also scored a run back in the 5th inning. Struck out in his last at-bat. As that one bounces. It was the first batter that Graybeck faced, who came in and absolutely shut the door on the Stallions and was able to give his offense a chance to climb back in the game. Stallions jumped out to 10 runs in the first 5 innings. Had 15 hits and only had 1 base runner since. And that one's upstairs, ball 3, 3-1.
Russo seeing the ball well tonight. Already has 1 walk as well as his 2 RBI singles so far.
And the 3-1 to Russo. That one's driven high and deep into left center field. And that one's in front of the warning track, and it'll be caught out there. Russo gave it a ride, but it ran out of gas, and it'll be up to Nick Campana now.
Yeah, Russo just hit that to the wrong part of the park, probably about 375 feet, so if it was to left center or right center or left field or right field, that one was gone. It was a great piece from Russo, just got under it a little bit. Just missed a walk-off home run.
And he knows he did too, and it'll be Nick Campana's job now as he takes low. Leadoff hitter for the Stallions, another great night, reaching base 3 times and a run scored. As that one's nubbed to second. It's going to be a tough play here. And second baseman, that's Estrella there, couldn't come up with a throw.
And that's a product of Campana's speed there. It's just a short number. It was a very tough play for Estrella. Had he gotten it, I don't even know if he would have gotten Campana. So that's an infield single for the Stallions center fielder. Actually, it's ruled an error, although I personally disagree with the call.
It was a tough play. And maybe after the game we can talk to the official scores about that one, but right now that'll be the 6th error recorded by the Albany Dutchman. And that'll bring up Luke Pedersen. Wonder if we'll see Campana on the run here.
Yeah, he's 4 for 6 on the year in stolen base attempts.
And there's a strike to Pedersen.
Fans unhappy about that call. Villa had to reach towards the left side of the zone to grab it.
And this crowd trying to lead the Stallions to a victory. They haven't been quiet all night. As that one's base hit through the right side. Campana around second. He's going to head to third, and he's going to be hit by the throw, and it's going to get down the right field line. And the play is not in time, and Campana's going to score. And just like that, the Stallions win.
Yeah, Luke Pedersen gets the job done. I didn't think a walk-off single with a man on first would do it, but that's what it was. Campana on first. The ground ball through the side. Campana had third base. It was a close play over there, but the ball went to the left field fence, and that was it. Campana was off to the races.
And just like that, you put the ball in play and speed kills. It's the old story that everyone talks about, speed kills, and fast guys like that, they just make you rush the throw or try to do something you're not normally accustomed to doing because the guy's just that much faster, and Campana showed right there. Tremendous speed, and Stallions now walk off with an 11-10 victory.
Yeah, it's not what I would have bet my money on was how this game was going to end when it was 10-2 in the 6th inning, but Pedersen and Campana, the 1 and 2 guys on the team, able to get it done here in the bottom of the 9th against a very deadly pitcher in Pierce. And the Stallions now only a half game behind the Dutchman here in the East. The Stallions improved to 12-9 as the Dutchman dropped to 12-8.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not how Coach Tom Whitaker drew it up last 2 nights. Last night, Jack Gonzalez with a game-winning hit in the 8th inning, and tonight, Luke Pedersen, I guess we can consider it the walk-off single in the bottom of the 9th as they walk away with a 11-10 victory. I'm not sure not sure who's up next on their schedule, though.
That's a good point. The next game will be this Saturday, that I am sure of.
Next home game. As they travel to Oneonta tomorrow night.
We're going to have to go to a new month to...
They travel to Oneonta tomorrow night to take on the Outlaws, and they're back here again Saturday and Sunday against Glens Falls, and then the Jamestown Jammers, who've been a very deadly team.
Yeah, the best team in the league Sunday here.
As they look to turn over the new month, as a lot of games in the month of July, as they now are slowly encroaching on the halfway point as their Stallions continue to pile up the wins. They're looking like a playoff team.
Yep. So big walk-off, 11-10 victory tonight. The final blow, a single from Luke Pedersen with Nick Campana on first that got the job done. And Stallions only a half game back of the Dutchman now, and make sure to tune in to the post-game. We'll have an interview with one of the Stallions players, and make sure to tune into the next broadcast Saturday night against Glens Falls.
And I'm Tom Perpetua.
I'm Biko Scala.
Have a good night.